Hello, I'm Dax Shepard. Welcome to Armchair Expert. It's Monday. Presumably you're listening to this on Monday. I want to remind everyone, if they want to party with us in Brooklyn on September 22nd, there are still a few tickets left for our 10 o'clock show. So if you want to come hang with us and bring signs declaring your love for Monica, again, I strongly urge you to do that.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to.
If you love her, let her know.
No, you don't.
If you love her, let me know you love her. You can get tickets to this raucous event on our website, www.armchairexpertpod.com. Again, it's a terrible URL, but we're stuck with it. Today, this is basically part 2, if you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
It's part 2. When we had Seth Green on, which was such a wonderful episode for me, because I just got to just stroll through memory lane, that sweet, well-spoken son of a bitch. It begged the natural question, and we knew that we must speak with Matthew Lillard, who has also now been a friend for over 15 years. I think everyone's going to be so delighted when they listen to him.
They are.
He's such a revelation of kindness and funness and
light.
Yeah, he's a really wonderful person, and it was so fun to talk to him. He sits down within 2 seconds. He's into like a 9-minute story that I find completely entertaining the whole ride through.
Oh, yeah.
He's also in Good Girls, which is an NBC show. And it's returning this fall on NBC. Spring? Oh, whatever. He's on Good Girls. I don't know when it comes out, but when it does come out, you should watch it because it's he and our favorite resident BB, Mae Whitman, along with other people. So everybody enjoy my old good pal, Matthew Lillard.
We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's a nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax. This episode is supported by Helix. All right, let's talk about something we both really care deeply about: sleep.
It's the most important thing. I've had my Helix mattress for years now, and I genuinely think it's one of the best investments you can make for your home. Mine still feels just like it did when I first got it.
Well, that's the thing. It's not one of those mattresses that caves in after 6 months. These things are built to last. And, I'm a side sleeper. I ordered a side sleeper, and I get hot, so I have cooling. And I can't tell you how much more comfortable it is to be in there not sweating and tossing and turning.
Cooling is really important. I've read that you're supposed to sleep a little bit cold. So I also have cooling. And they have over 20 models, so it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You just go take their quiz, and they match you to what actually works for your body.
Plus, they've got cooling upgrades, which heading into summer, non-negotiable.
Truly.
Go to helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off. That's helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/armchair.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
What if I fail? What if I don't do this right?
No,
what,
you
what
can't. You can't fail. There's no failure.
No such thing.
Failure's not an option.
But you have all these charming, funny people.
You are one of them.
When I'm not, what if I blow it? I
No.
have pressure.
Put on your headphones first and foremost. That way we'll both sound way smarter
look at
to each
you.
other.
Oh
Didn't
my
I just
God.
get smarter?
You just sound dreamy.
But Matt Lillard, hi, welcome. Do you find that as you get older, I'm turning into a fucking Ferrari. Like, if I don't put the exact right thing into my gas tank, I'm going to be broken down on the side of the road. Like, you were just saying that you eat garlic now and it makes you fucking depressed.
Garlic will jack me up for days. Like there's a tendency to beat a child if I've had garlic.
Too much garlic.
Oh, it makes my poor wife. I mean, it literally cripples me.
Yeah.
And I'll say to people all the time, I'm allergic to garlic. Oh, there's no garlic in this. And then 2 days later, I'm like, you lied.
You're storming out of the house.
Oh God, it's just miserable.
But it's humiliating to me because what happened, and I don't know if it's because I've cut out so many things that I actually have experienced what it's like to feel good.
Right.
And now I'm just really sensitive to when I don't feel good.
Sure.
But to your point, I don't eat garlic because it inflames my arthritis. So like my knee will start burning 2 hours after I eat garlicky chicken. My knee will just be on fire.
Really?
Yes. And then if I eat sugar now, I get the thing you get from garlic where like I'm miserable for 2 days. I'm pessimistic. I hate my family.
Because of sugar?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm becoming, I feel
So
like
when
in
did you
20
get
years, I'm
so-
just going to have water.
So when did you get so dialed into physical? I mean, we're just talking about the fact that you were as shredded as any human in movies during Chips. So when did
I'm
that?
so glad you noticed.
Well, dude,
no women
listen.
noticed, only
No,
other guys.
Get out of here. That's
No, it's
not
true.
That is not true. They don't
It
want to
is.
talk about it
No.
to you. That's not,
not
true.
true.
That's not true.
It's true. Let me tell you something.
It was uncomfortable.
I've
It was
got-
uncomfortable how yoked you were.
I've gotten in shape twice for movies. And my response from both times, not a single woman has ever said like, your body looked good in that movie. 100% of the compliments come from other dudes. Like I was getting on an airplane and I was walking down the aisle and some dude just held his fist out and he goes, got dieseled out and went in Rome, bro. And like put his fist up. And I'm like, why won't a girl say that to me? I want so bad.
You don't
for a
want
woman.
that now. Not your time. No.
I'm just like you.
I don't see.
I'm going to expose you.
Oh no. Stop the tape.
You are a monogamous man. I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it with my own eyes. You are an ironclad monogamist. It's very impressive.
Thank you. I will say this.
Yeah.
I treated it when we were doing Without a Paddle.
Yes.
I treated it as an addict. If I know if I do it once, I'm screwed.
Yeah. Once you open the door, forget it. Right.
Yeah.
All the horses are going to run out.
It would be no good.
But you also like approval from people like I do. We share that in common, I think.
I enjoy approval.
That was hard
very
for you.
much. No, but I enjoy approval. But I will say that I feel like 18 years of marriage on Sunday, this last Sunday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Which in Hollywood is like 57 years of marriage.
Absolutely.
In
an age of Twitter and Instagram.
It's but I don't know. That part of me is kind of,
it's dying.
yeah, in a really kind of sad way. We were just talking about getting in shape, and like, there's a part of me that's like, so it's funny. So I'm on the show with May.
Yeah,
called
good girls.
Good Girls. Christina Hendricks plays my wife. And on the show, she is falling in love with this guy named Rio, with this character named Rio, which is played by this guy, Manny Montana.
Okay.
He's gorgeous.
Is he an Adonis?
He's lovely and Hispanic and beautiful. And in the show, they're getting together. And as they get together, I'm getting jealous.
You
In
know,
real
so-
life.
Of real life. I'm
Yeah.
like, here is my, like, everyone online is like, we can't wait for them to get together. I'm like, step back. That's my pretend wife.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
But it becomes this thing. I was like, wait a sec. I'm 48, I'm almost 50. And I used to walk into a room and there used to be impact. Like you would walk into a room and you'd be like, people would notice.
Well, let me elaborate
Yeah.
on that because I worked with you at the height of your powers, I think. What I
Yes.
would think. You were
Close
like,
to-
you were
yes,
a
for
man,
sure.
you had a family, you were making a good living, you're tall as fuck. I don't know that people realize that. You are taller than me.
It is the first comment out of everyone's mouth.
100% of people.
100%.
Yeah, say, wow, you're taller
So
in real
tall.
life. Yes, when you walk into a room, people are aware of it.
Yes.
It doesn't go unnoticed.
Yes.
Okay, please continue. I
And-
just
well,
wanted
and
to brag
there was a
for
time-
you.
yeah,
about
and
your
there was a
impressive
time-
stature.
Well, there was a time when you would be the guy walking in that room who was in Scream at the height of Scream or in, whatever movie people
Yeah.
identify you with. and you would have some kind of sexual relevance.
Sure. Some
You would have
capital.
you would have capital. There you go, sexual capital. And the older I've gotten, the less that capital means is transactable. It's
Yes.
not in. You walk in the room and it's not the same thing. And I do think that there's this really interesting junction in life where men and women become sexually irrelevant.
Yeah.
And I think that's a super interesting place.
it's dicey for your identity and your ego, I think.
Yeah, and that's where that midlife crisis kind of comes
Well,
in. Right?
and now compound what you're experiencing with You Never Left Washington. So I had a great conversation with one of my best friends, and he's been married for about the same time I've been married. And we went out to dinner one night, and he, out of all my friends, like all through my 20s in LA, every girl was in love with him. I mean, hands down, if I was by him, no one was going to see me because they were in love with him. So I said to him, do you have a hard time being monogamous? You know, you've been married for X amount of years. And he just looked at me so frankly and he goes, Dex, I'm not on TV. So it's quite fucking easy. Not one
Right.
girl likes me. I'm 50. I'm married. I have 2 kids and I've put on some pounds. It's very easy for me to be monogamous.
it is not a challenge.
And it was a pretty good wake up call for me where I was like, oh, right. And if I was back in Michigan just at 43,
Nobody would care.
Yes, it was a good.
Nobody would care.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
it's I don't know.
it's tricky, right? But are you
Getting
finding
older.
that?
Yeah, getting older. And also, like, I do think that there was a time in my life where I was at the height of my power
Mhm.
and, you know, I'm not at that place anymore.
Mhm.
I haven't been at that place for a long time.
Mhm.
And the sort of, I mean, look, I was an actor when I was 21, I was doing a movie.
Yeah.
And that sort of fall and and there was a moment where, and I owe my agent and my manager at the time, like, an apology. Cause I would obsess about it my next job. I would hold on to, well, what's coming? What's next? Because I had always worked.
Yeah.
And at some point I was like taking a movie. It wasn't a lot of money, but I took it because I'm like, I got to feed my kids.
Yeah.
And that was like X
And stay
amount
busy.
Yeah, and stay busy. And
Yeah.
that's how I define myself. And that was like, you know, X amount of dollars.
Yes.
And then the next time you needed a job and money, it was less.
Yeah. You were on the
then
opposite
It was
trajectory.
less. And I'm now taking jobs, not for work, not for creative sort of empowerment, but literally to feed kids.
yeah. Yeah.
And it was, you know, it's humiliating. It's humbling. It's that thing where my father-in-law, who I love to pieces, said to me, you know, because we were struggling and we had money, because I made a lot of money on Scooby Doo.
Right.
I mean, it's all relative.
Sure.
But at the time, it was
You
a
also
lot
did
of,
well on a house in Pasadena.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
great on the house in Pasadena.
I know your
And
finances pretty
You
well.
do.
Yeah,
You're-
I always count
that
other
is
people's
your
money.
thing.
It is. It's terrible.
That was your. Is
Yeah.
it still your thing?
No, not as much.
You identified success in that way.
That's
which,
all. That was the indicator to me.
100%. And
Yeah.
I remember we would have conversations about that. And I was like, it was so funny to me at that time during Without a Paddle that was your thing. Cause I was like, it won't be that for long.
Well, and I had been penniless for 10 years.
For sure.
So when I went to your house during Without a Paddle and I
Mm-hmm.
saw where you lived, I was like, how the fuck do I get there? And you were building a pool in your backyard. I was like, this guy's like Thurston Howell.
That's
Like it was
hilarious.
mind blowing to me.
That's hilarious.
You sold me your Porsche to get
Yeah.
a new BMW 740 IL.
love
And I
that
was
you
just
know
like,
that.
look at this life. He must not have to brush his teeth in the morning or
I have
watch what he
somebody
eats.
come by. Put-
You were the total fantasy for me of
that's
like
so funny.
Hollywood success. Yeah.
You know, it's so weird that in
you
that
were probably
moment,
focused on someone else above you.
100%.
Never looking down at me going, like,
Never.
oh, this motherfucker's in a 1-bedroom apartment. I love my house all of a sudden. It never works that
Never
way, right?
looks. I mean, you look at it, your life now.
It's
Look,
crazy.
It's
It's
crazy.
nuts.
You have no way to sort of to articulate. I mean, it's really hard to define. And I do think that something about success, something about my life was always about the ladder going up.
The next
if
rung.
if you are looking down in this business, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Or anytime I stopped in my life and was like, hey, I can get into this club. Hey, I can get to Vegas. You know,
Yeah.
anytime I was like, oh, I've made it. Like I wouldn't work. And I was like, you idiot. You are nothing. You're shit. You suck. You have to keep going.
It's a terrible paradox because at one time your brain rightly is saying, hey, stop and appreciate what you got.
Yes.
And that is how you should live your life. in general, if you want to feel good,
Yes.
is like take stock, have a gratitude list, recognize this is the analogy you and I used to fight about all the time. I don't know if you remember it, but remember I used to say to you, you're in the NBA, Matt. Shut the fuck up. Like, you're not Jordan. Who cares? Do you remember you got so mad at me one time because I said, you're not going to be Sean Penn. Do you remember that?
No, I don't. I don't
Does
remember
it
anything.
trigger?
I have terrible memory for these kind of things.
But even when I say it now, does it trigger you a bit that I would?
Because I'm like, fuck that. I am going to be Sean Penn. Fuck Sean Penn.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I had a perspective on your life that I've never had on my own. But I was looking at you going, dude, you're crushing. You're the lead of movies and they're successful and you're making great money. Stop looking at Sean Penn. You're in the NBA. You're on the road. You have a jersey.
Terrible.
Terrible. I could see it in you, but it was very hard to see it in myself.
I don't want to be the guy coming off the bench. You want to be the guy in the fourth quarter is like, give me the ball.
Yes.
And I don't want, and this is the problem with my life. My problem with my life is that I would rather make no money, be in buckfuck Timbuktu, and doing a great part where I could be an incredible actor rather than making a lot of money and just doing a whatever part.
Yes. You from day one, since I met you, that became very salient. That is what you wanted. You took acting very seriously. You went to what, Circle in the Square was the school
in New York.
I can't believe I'm remembering this stuff.
This is crazy.
This is 15 years ago. And I can even remember now that I'm staring at your face that you went to you were in Serial Mom. That was like one of your first roles, right? And then you went to some lecture and Todd Phillips asked you a question.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Right? Didn't this happen?
No, so two things. First of all, and I do think there's a part in your brain that like records emotion, right? I mean, obviously, and the sense of fear for a career. Because there's also this thing that's written that's in me that this drive is like about fear. It's about never working again.
Of course.
It's about like, this is how I define myself. I've been a kid doing it my whole life. If I don't do it anymore, then what the hell am I?
Yeah.
But Ricky Lake in Serial Mom took me to lunch one afternoon. Like when we first got down there, I just left. I literally walked into my waiting job and I quit on a Saturday night. I'm like, I quit. And he's like, you're doing a movie. So what? You'll come back and get a job. I'm like, I'll never come back. And he's like, if you don't cover your shift, you're never coming back. I'm like, I don't care. Cut to, I've never been back.
Did you float out of the restaurant?
Yeah,
it feels so good.
I was like, I got a movie. Like all my friends from school came up. We all got drunk. It was awesome.
And you were going to Circle in the Square that time?
And it was just at the end of Circle in the Square. It's like the last month of school.
And what is that, a 2-year program?
A 2-year program.
Okay.
It was my third audition.
Of your life?
Of my life.
Oh,
I mean, this is kind of like I had a crazy career because I would walk into a room. You have the same thing. I have no problem talking to anyone. I could talk to anyone. Yeah. I'm fine in my own skin. Yes. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do my work. If it goes well for you, great. If not, it's not going to go my way. I mean, yes, I get desperate and yes, I want jobs, but I'm going to come in with energy. I'm going to come in blue collar. I'm going to outwork everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do a badass job. Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah.
But I just got my first movie. I was in Baltimore. Ricky Lake took me to lunch and she said at some point, and I don't think she meant it in a bad way, but she said, there's a lot of people that only do one movie and never do another job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I can't imagine that. What would I do? I mean, what would I do?
Yeah.
And that fear has always been has always sort of been in me. But Todd Phillips, the first time I ever saw myself on screen was at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Todd Phillips was sitting behind me.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, hey, that was good work. Congratulations. And I'm like, that's the first time I've ever seen myself in a movie. And he's like, hi. I'm like, what's your name? He's like, Todd Phillips. I'm like, I never remembered, but like 3 years later, we were at Sundance and he's like, we met before.
Oh, wow. Like, he remembered.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Anyway.
And that was a John Waters movie, right?
Yeah.
And did you have an awareness then, like what John Waters was?
No.
Right.
No.
I mean, for you, it was just the headline was it's a movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, with Kathleen Turner,
right?
Sam Waterston, and then you had this thing where they have these things called there was like pages and like heart. It was a book.
Mhm.
You've ever seen these things?
Never
Yeah.
seen a book.
There's these books.
Wait, it's a
It's
book?
it's a book. It's like this
Okay.
thing you would go and then you would have these words.
Okay, sure.
So when I got this John Waters movie, like there was a thing called Pink Flamingo, and I was like, I don't
Yes.
know what that is. And there was a guy named Divine, and I was like, who is that? And so I went and bought a book about John Waters' life.
Before you started filming,
Yeah, because
or
I was like,
filming?
no, before, because I was going down there. I wanted to meet the guy.
Yeah. Did you get scared when you became
Oh,
aware of his
yeah.
work?
Yeah, because he has a bookshelf full of John Wayne Gacy painting and a bookshelf full of serial killer books and an electric chair.
Probably without doubt, the most eclectic, interesting director of all time, John Waters. Just as a human
Yes.
being, right? A
Oh,
true
for sure.
original, like
Nobody like
his
him
whole
before that.
life is an art installation.
100%.
Well, I had seen Pink Flamingos because it was really big in the punk rock world, as was John Wayne Gacy, weirdly. We watched Pink Flamingo all the time. Like,
That's
what is
crazy.
this thing? So, but if I had signed on to a movie and then discovered, I would be a little nervous.
Dude, I rented Pink Flamingo.
Have you ever seen it, Monica?
No, never.
Oh,
I think I can just give you a highlight of it that'll probably let you know about what
Okay.
to expect. A man gets in a weird yoga pose at one point and he's bare naked, and then he makes his anus go all the way open, then push out, and then all the way open. And you just sit there. They hold on that shot for quite a while.
Wow.
And you're seeing something you didn't know that was anatomically possible.
Anal
and it's
activity?
very
it's a movie.
it's a movie. It's a film. It's a narrative.
Could rent. It wasn't like a porn film. Like it was
Right.
like a
But almost.
should have been. And there was like a chicken scene. Like
Yeah,
they had
chicken lady.
Yeah,
There's-
yeah.
How big did his anus get?
so scary big.
As big as your
like
face.
to be truthful with you, if you were standing across and you threw a grapefruit at it, I think it would have landed inside.
No.
Wouldn't you say?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that part?
I don't remember that clearly.
It blew.
really is upsetting.
Yeah. It was a lot to take in.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi high-yield checking and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply.
Confidence. It's listening to your gut. It's moving forward even when the path ahead is unclear. For nearly 160 years, Pacific Life has helped people keep their promises, building confidence for generations. Whether you're confident in your financial future or just beginning to envision it, we're here to help. Ask a financial professional how. Pacific Life, the power of a promise. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York, Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
You know, part of it's your own fault and your own ego, right? Like I'll own my own fault, my own ego. But then another part of you is there is a chorus of people around you telling you your life's about to change. Like, so you thought, oh, I'm in this movie, sky's the limit, which is, you know, of course you thought that. We all think that way. But then also there was probably people around you going, you are fucking killing this movie. Matt,
Sure.
you're doing a great job.
Every movie,
when this
every
comes
movie.
out, things like, because that was happening to me on Without
Sure.
a Paddle.
Sure.
And I had zero experience. So I'm like, I really started thinking they must be right. I'm
But
going to
they
be
were right.
Adam Sandler.
They were right.
They
But
were
they were right.
Well, they were right in that I have been lucky enough to keep going, which is fucking
Right.
awesome. But what I was hearing is that I'm literally Adam Sandler.
Right.
Or that, you know, they were confirming this fantasy I had that I
Right.
could be a franchise comedian like Will Ferrell
Yeah.
and those guys.
Yeah.
Like I think you were looking at more dramatic actors. So
Yeah, for sure.
your North Star was probably different than mine.
Well,
Mine
Sean
was like
Penn was that.
he
you
was
have
your Will
that-
Ferrell.
Well, I mean, in a way, yeah.
Kind of ironic, isn't it, that you? Because when let me start a couple things. at the beginning of our relationship
Okay,
that people
good.
won't know. One is I first saw you act in, although I did see Serial Mom, I don't know that I remembered that, but I saw Scream
Uh-huh.
and I was immediately very attracted to you. I told you that when we did Without a Paddle. Like you were a breakout star to me. A lot of people got famous during that time,
Sure.
but I wasn't like Skeet Ulrich never blew up my dress or whatever.
Sure.
But watching you and Scream, I was like, oh, this is what Nicolas Cage would do today. And it's rare for me as a man to like, it's just a dick part of me, maybe. I don't want to give it up to another tall male or whatever the
Really?
fuck it is. Like,
I mean, you have that sort of competitive thing and you have that testosterone thing, but I
Sure.
never felt.
not, I don't think in our job, but just for me to acknowledge that some guy is big and loud and awesome and he's pulling it off. And I'm
Right.
kind of like, well, wait, that's my gig in my circle.
Sure, right.
To acknowledge someone else doing it and actually love it and support it. I just think it's a big, it's a big thing. So I liked you. More importantly, I pined in a way that you'll never understand, even though you dated her. The way I love Nev Campbell watching Party of Five will never know an equal. I would sit on the bed and my fucking heart would hurt watching the show. And I would think, if we don't end up married, there's been like my whole life is a disaster. I
hilarious.
felt so strongly towards her, right? So my friend Nate Tuck, he produces this movie. I'm basically an extra in the movie. Nev Campbell's in it. I've told the story on here. I'm trying to impress her. I've been up all night drinking with some of the other extras and maybe powdering my nose. And then I find her at the morning breakfast bar and I just am next to her and she's like, what are you going to get? And then I think, which will be cool, is I go, well, I think I'm going to drink my breakfast. She's like, oh, okay. Extra. I mean, I can only, now that I see it all through her eyes, it just couldn't have been a worse approach. And then you showed up.
On set?
You came to set to visit her. And you sat in a room and you played.
This is before we knew each other.
Way before we knew each other,
God.
years before we knew each other. You were either playing chess
Yes.
or poker.
Probably chess.
I think
For
chess.
sure, chess.
Yeah. So you were traveling with a chessboard, which is amazing in and of itself. But I turned the corner and like she was like next to you and I saw you and I just had this like, oh, wow, he's also a beast on top of it. Like I knew you from Scream, but then in real life, I'm like, oh my God, he's really handsome in real life. Very charming and gregarious. And you were dressed really cool and you're fucking playing chess. What a move. And I was just like, yeah, he's the better man. Like I remember in my head thinking that dude's
Capitulation.
way cooler than me. He's successful. He's playing chess. He's got
God.
good clothes and he's taller than me.
Oh,
and I just,
God.
I like, it's so great because of course you saw me, I saw you, you would never know that, but it was burned into my mind seeing
so-
you. You were wearing a cool hat, like kind of a cabbie,
Sure, yeah.
Cillian Murphy hat. You were crushing. We then worked together
Yes.
and then we fell in love. That's my journey with you.
That's hilarious.
How long did it take you to leave New York and come to LA?
So I left New York to audition. I was a reader in Hackers. So Hackers was a movie I did with Angelina Jolie and John Lee Miller. And somebody asked me to do, to read across from actresses in the room. I was friends with the casting director. And by the end of the second day, I had read as the lead against all these women. And Ian Softly, who's the director, was like, I want you to fly out to LA and test for the lead in Hackers. Which I didn't get. But that weekend that I was in LA, I got 3 different jobs in like one week, in one 5-day period. One of them was a movie called Scary Movie, which ended up becoming Scream. One of them was a pilot.
Oh, wow. Scream
Yeah.
was called Scary Movie.
Yeah, it was
and
the
then they
first
did
title.
Scary Movie.
And then afterwards, yeah. And so I got 3 jobs and I was like, well, clearly I have to come back to LA. And I just got a TV show and then I did Scream and I had a girlfriend for a long time and we broke up and then I started
That
dating
helped.
Nev right afterwards.
And you grew up weirdly in a town, not grew up, but you were
Sure, yeah.
born like 8 miles from me in Brighton, Michigan.
crazy.
Right? You were
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
home from the hospital to
Brighton.
Brighton.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and you left there at what, 6 or something?
So I always say 10, but it's like 6.
Yeah,
6
isn't
or
it weird
7.
how we do that?
Well, to me, because I think that, I mean, people are like, where'd you grow up? And I always say Detroit. But
Uh-huh.
It's not Detroit. But
No. nor is Milford where I'm from, but I
No.
too say Detroit.
Yeah,
'cause
I mean,
what am I
I-
going to fucking take an hour to explain to people
Milford,
what Milford
you guys
is?
need to pull out the mitten. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
But there is that thing about, I do think that thing about Detroit or people from Michigan or the Midwest, there's a sense of pride that
Oh, sure.
you don't have in a lot of other places.
Yeah. And you moved to Orange County, right?
Yeah, we moved to Orange County. My mom and dad moved to Orange County, and I was this kid with, I had a sister, and my dad started his own business, and my mom worked with him, and so
And the handsome stud I met,
I love that. That's not.
I
I
have
was
to.
never the handsome.
Yes, you
stud.
were.
That
You're
was not-
100%,
I had one job where I was
No.
the handsome stud, and that was our job.
No.
together.
In real life, you were a handsome stud. I saw you, and you were with my girl, and I
I
was
know.
approving
So
of it.
sorry.
No, do you know what a compliment that is to you?
That is
That you were
hilarious.
with my lady, and I
you were
was
all right with
happy
it?
for her. I was like, you chose
You did
correctly.
well. You did well, boo.
But as we became close on Without a Paddle, we all started exchanging kind of embarrassing stories.
Oh, God.
Seth had a bunch of
I
great
think that
ones.
we had embarrassing. Yeah.
I had a lot of embarrassing ones. And you told one that really just was a knockout
Oh my
punch.
God. What?
So, come to find out in the makeup trailer that
Uh-huh.
you had been a mime in high school, which
That's
puts
hilarious.
you just in a very unique category right out of the gates. Because Monica, did you know any mimes
Do you
in
know
high
what a-
school?
No, but
Do you
I
know what a
wish.
mime is?
Of course.
No, maybe not.
I know about mimes, but I don't know any mimes.
I
Well,
had
you're
never
looking
met
at
a
one.
mime until I worked with you at 28 years old or
Well,
something.
the worst part of that being that mime was that I was this obese teenager.
So you were a little heavier when you were a kid.
Yes.
Yes. And your mime name, he had a mime name, which was his own name backwards, which was Tam.
Yeah.
Ah.
How do you remember these things? Your memory is crazy.
Well, you have to imagine, my memory might be good or bad, but imagine what you would remember if Without a Paddle was your first movie.
Okay.
Like that was my first movie. There will never be an experience in my mind that takes up as much data
right.
because everything was new. Meeting you, meeting Seth, like looking up to you guys, learning the ropes from you guys, all that. Being in
Sure.
fucking rivers, jumping off cliffs, like the whole thing I later discovered was very unique in and of itself,
Oh,
even if
for
it
sure.
wasn't the first movie.
Never been a movie. I've never been anything close to that before.
I've never worked that
No.
hard since.
No.
Yeah, it was nuts. We
Well, it's
worked like
also-
6-day weeks and we traveled on the 7th day and
Yeah.
we were in cold ass water several hours of the day.
Yeah. And we were, I do think that there was the fellowship between the three of us.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was sort of, I've never experienced that since.
No, and part of it, and I'm going to come back to Tam, but part of it was this really cool thing that I think irked me at the beginning, which was we were there very early. We were there a few weeks before we started filming, which
Yeah.
again is also unique. I've not had that since where they sent me out
No.
a month early or whatever. And we had all this training, so we would all learn to canoe together in the rapids with Augie. Remember
Oh,
Augie?
God.
Sweeties. He'd be yelling directions at us on the bank of the river, and we
As
couldn't
you're
understand.
screaming down the river
you're
in
singing.
in a Canadian canoe with Seth talking so what would happen is we get on these rapids and it was straight adrenaline. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
would get on the front. And remember, he said, look, if anything goes wrong on the river, save your own life. And to me, I was like, he's like, because nobody's going to be able to save you because it's a river.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a good advice. Like if your foot gets caught, it's you and nature, and
Yeah,
one of you is going to win.
Yeah, you can't really guide yourself over to somebody in a class 3
Yeah,
rapid.
and it's like you're stuck. You got to get out. And so every single time we got in that river, I was like, I'm for sure gonna die.
But there was this scene that had to be got. I don't think I've ever experienced a high like this since on a movie. But there was a scene where they had to shoot us navigating this like class 3 rapid, and we had to get through and paddle out of it. It couldn't be cheated.
No.
Do you remember this? So we went down this fucking rapid. We must have gone a dozen times. We couldn't get through it.
There's a huge wave. There's a big wave at the end of it that we had to get through. And every time,
easily a 4 or 5 foot wave.
and you were like in a flat bottom canoe, and every time you'd collapse, and they would go, guys, and they would give you what you had to do right. I'm like, man, I'm fucking trying.
Yes.
I'm trying to stay in the canoe because I don't want to die.
So we would either capsize, which happened most frequently,
Right.
or we would just sink the fucking canoe. We wouldn't capsize, but we would just submerge it. We'd take on so much water, all of a sudden we'd be paddling and we'd be up to our shoulders.
And your feet are pinned under the seat. And I just remember going, oh my God, I'm going to get stuck in this damn canoe.
And when we finally got it, which we never really, even if you remember, the one that we finally got that
Right.
that is in the movie, the canoe has got about 9 inches of water in it. Like, we're not fully buoyant, but I remember we got through it and we
was
raised
so
our paddles
happy.
above our head because we were not tipped over and we weren't fully submerged.
Right.
And just the elation of having tried it that many times and gotten through it.
Oh, dude. And you remember, I mean, Seth would sit in the middle of us. So
Poor Seth. He's just a passenger.
He does nothing, but all he would do to get away from his adrenaline would talk. So he would sit there and talk. I am shitting my pants in the front, and Dax has no fear whatsoever. We have so I just cleaned out my garage, and I found like all these old videotapes, and I got them transferred over, and one of them is that of us shooting those rapids.
Oh, really?
They put together like a best of hit.
Oh, I would love to see that.
I'll send it. I'll bring it over.
We've been meaning to screen the movie now for 12 years. Remember, me, you, and Seth have been on many text chains going. We
Why
must
do we
sit
do it?
down. And we want to
Why?
watch the second one because they made a second one without any of us in it.
So here's my question. Do you remember I used to have this thing, especially back then. I would say to everyone I ever worked with, well, we'll never be friends.
Yeah, that was your kind of thing.
That was my thing. I was like,
It's almost like what you do to like a girl to
Sam-
trick her or something. You were the gaming me. I was like, I accept your challenge, motherfucker. I'll be your friend for life.
I will ride or die for you, bro.
But you had done enough movies that you were like, listen, I need to warn you, Dax. I can see you're at camp and you're having a great time. But,
But
these
we're
things
never going to be
yes.
friends.
Yeah, and you almost said it like a mantra.
I said it all the time.
Yes.
We're never going to be friends.
yes.
It's weird. Isn't that weird? And
And
do
it
think
can become
that-
a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, I think it's miserable. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
hang out with anyone. I mean, I never see you.
Yeah.
Never see Seth. I mean, you know.
But I see,
But
see,
I love
we
you.
weren't
I love
saying
Seth.
that. We weren't saying, Seth and I weren't saying that. That
Right.
wasn't our mantra. And magically, we
Together
do
all
see
the
each other.
time.
Yes.
You don't. Do you call him up and say, "Let's go do something,"
Yeah.
or do you
I
just
bet
see each other out?
No, I make it a point that at least once a year, I either go to his house or he comes to my house. We get it together or we'll have a lunch. We do. We won't go more than a year, I don't think. And then, yes, I'll go do his cartoons, so
Sure,
I'll see
right.
him or whatever will happen. And then I bump into him. But I have the same thing with him that I have with you, which is I could probably see you in 30 years and I'd feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I do think maybe it was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I really
for you.
hate that about me.
Do you
I
think
hate that.
Do you think that you had been burned on a previous movie and you as a wall of protection?
Well, there's no doubt. Look, so going back to that little piece of your emotional memory, you know, Sam Waterston and I played chess every single day in Serial Mom. And it was the week before we wrapped. And I said, you know, next week we'll play in New York. And he's like, oh, buddy, we'll never see each other again. And I was like, I'll show you. Cut to, I have never seen Sam Waterston, not even one day since that movie came
That's
out.
sad.
Okay.
Tam.
1987. Let's go back. Was it about 87?
Well, I graduated high school in 88.
89?
It was
Oh,
88.
88. A
Yeah.
year before
I
my brother.
don't think I did it my senior year, but
No,
I
I
was
think-
definitely old enough to drive. So like 86 or 87.
Yeah. As I remember, it was your junior year.
Probably right. Yeah.
This story, Monica, you're so not
Can't
prepared
wait.
for it.
I really can't wait.
So I'm just going to set the
excited.
scene, which is that, and this is by his account, not mine. I never saw him at this age. He believes he was overweight at the time. That's relevant to the story a little bit.
I think it's very pertinent.
Okay. His performance name is Tam.
Yeah. I
Not a
love
great,
it.
because it is a woman's name. It sounds like a short
Not
version
backwards.
of
I
Tammy.
thought it was pretty clever.
I like that.
There was no Google. You couldn't
I mean, you
Google
weren't
good mind
doing-
names.
You were not doing yourself a single favor in this scenario.
No.
Your name was Tam.
Ah.
Okay, and then just tell Monica what you did at the school fair.
So I thought it wasn't school. It was the church. The church was the only place I was really accepted because I was
Okay.
like, I was in the drama group. I mean, I played sports growing up. I was friends with all the jock guys. My sophomore year, I was like full drama all the time. So and I was like right around then real fat. Anyways, but so I felt like I felt when I put Lycra was a new development.
No.
Lycra was a thing that had just come out. It
Did you
wasn't
hear
around.
Monica's most honest response. It's like someone just kind of kicked her.
God.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't
So
wait.
Lycra was new.
No, Lycra was new, and I had bike shorts that were I had a yellow stripe down the side of my bike shorts. I don't know why. I didn't
not
bike.
Subtle.
I did not bike. I never biked. I don't know why I had Lycra bike shorts. I'm 6'4", so that's I mean, that's
big footprint.
That's a big footprint in Lycra.
Yeah.
And then
a lot of Lycra.
It was summer. It was hot. I mean, it was Orange County. It was hot. And I loved that mimes always wore turtlenecks.
Sure, sort of their signature.
Thing
So
to love.
it's kind of their thing, right? And
Yeah.
so I had a black turtleneck, black Lycra shorts with a gold racing stripe up my fat ass thighs. And then I would, to accentuate my hands, I'd pull my sleeves up real high because it kind of made me look buff.
Okay,
Because
sure.
it kind of like puffed out here and it kind of hung off my chest. And then I looked skinny
in the tight Lycra.
in the tight Lycra. And then I would apply my own makeup. So let's just real quick. Sophomore year in high school, you're applying pancake white,
Sure.
the little lips, the little red
black.
lips.
Oh, red
Yeah,
lips.
yeah. And then you're adding lots of eyeliner because I thought the eyeliner really accentuated.
Should made the eyes
With
pop.
yeah.
Well, that's the only thing you can communicate
Yeah,
with,
that's,
right?
that's all. You have no
Right.
words. And then, so the church had a fair, and they didn't know it. Nobody invited me to show up. Nobody invited. It's like, all right, we got the balloon guy check, we got the marching band check.
Yeah, probably a dunk tank.
Yeah. It's like everyone's there to
Standard fare.
celebrate Christ.
Oh.
And I took it upon myself to donate my services
As a mime.
as TAM in the name of Christ to set up at my church and do mime. And then I had I had a boombox. So I'd set up my boombox and then I did my mime routine uninvited.
How long was the routine?
It was pretty good. I did like a.
Stand by the routine.
I stand by the routine. I once saw it's a complete. I ripped off somebody's other routine. I mean, I ripped off
what else
another
were you
routine.
going to do? Yeah.
But I would commit suicide multiple ways doing mime. So I'd run the sword through, and then I would.
Okay.
And I'd pull out my intestines and hang myself with my intestines.
it's great. Well, in the name of Christ.
In the name of
too.
Christ.
Wow.
So there I was, uninvited with a boombox doing mime at the other end of the fair that nobody really walked by.
And it was populated with a lot of your classmates,
Oh,
as I
yeah.
recall.
100%.
So it's all the kids from his high school.
Cute, like everyone's like popular. It was very popular to be at the church.
Right. And
very
then also, look, I went to the church fair in my town. I didn't even go to the church.
Sure.
Just, it attracts everyone,
Yeah,
right? Anytime
everyone
you got
shows up.
corn dogs, you're going to show up.
Yeah.
And
And
so,
mimes, corn dogs and mimes.
and as I
Who doesn't
remember,
want that?
again, I don't know how divulgent you want to get, but I remember a part of the story being that you became kind of preoccupied because during some of the mime routines, your shirt was coming up a little bit
Sure.
and your belly was sticking over the Lycra.
Sure.
And there were kids from the
Not
school
good.
watching, and it was a little distracting, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, that story. I already liked you a ton, but then when I heard that story in the makeup trailer,
That's who I was.
just thought I'll fall on a sword for this guy.
I love
what
that
a
you
beautiful
remember that.
beginning.
Did you take a class or you just
No. That was self-taught. I was a self-taught mime.
self-taught mime?
Yeah, it was something
Tam.
that Tam the mime. I don't know. Look, I do think that there was that moment. I look back on it now, right? And I love the fact that I was a kid 100% committed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you're a kid, like
This-
has no fear. Like, and I will say that about social media. My kids would never do that now because they're fucking terrified that somebody's gonna.
Well, there'll be a record of it. If it's a
Yeah.
misfire, not only like let's assume best case scenario, at least 15 kids saw the TAM routine,
For sure.
then talked about it the next day in science class or whatever on Monday.
For sure.
But they couldn't pull up a video of you
Yeah. And it's
and
not
then
going
forward
viral.
it. Yes.
Because that's the kind of thing that
It's
you
ki-
could destroy a kid.
Yeah, it's kind of limited risk, even though it's very ballsy. I still think it's one of the more ballsy. But isn't it funny? Because now that you have kids, like if my son I saw him just before he left the house and he was in the turtleneck and the Lycra and the whole thing. And I knew he was TAM and he was going to go to where all of his classmates were going to be.
You would
I
say,
pray I would say to myself, this kid loves it. Let
Let
him
him go.
let him go. It would be so hard for me not to be protective and
Sure.
go, listen, Matt, I'm TAM.
Listen, I know you can't talk back.
This might.
I know you can only hear me.
Blink if I'm getting through to you.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
It would be hard for me not to try to protect you from potential embarrassment, you know?
Yeah. But I do think that, look, my parents were never around.
They weren't, okay.
Never. Not like that. I mean,
not bad parents, just they
not
were
bad
busy
they were
paying
working
for things.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They were working and they started their own business. And I do think that, look, part of the problem with our kids these days, I mean, I love my kids. I have 3 kids, 16, 13, and 10. They never get bored. Like part of you doing mimes because you're bored. I mean, you don't know what, you figure things out. You get more creative. You're more engaged. I mean, you take away these iPads, you take away these things, and all of a sudden my kids are writing songs and then, the amazing things come out when you just let them wander.
Dude, even me, last year, Chris and I went away for like a night and I through a heavy sales pitch, I'm like, let's not use it. Let's leave our phones in the car when we get there.
Sure.
Like my sister can call the hotel if there's a problem with the kids. And I didn't have my phone for, I want to say 36 hours. And all of a sudden I was like, I want to draw a picture. Like I haven't wanted to draw a picture in 20 years.
Sure.
But yeah, I was fucking bored and I wanted to do something with my hands.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to draw some pictures.
Right.
And I just thought, oh yeah, that's taking up all that. My natural inclination to stave off boredom.
They say I was reading something that's like, if you spend 2 hours like just on social media, right? Like a day, at the end of the year, that's a month of your life that's gone. A month. And 2 hours, you can do a half hour in the morning. You do a half hour while you're pooping. You do a half hour after dinner.
40 for me on the can.
Easy, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. That's a month of your life.
Ugh.
That is, that's a little troubling.
That's brutal.
But when you have kids, I guess my singular wish for them is that they would just catch fire for anything. I don't even care what it is. I would just love to see the spark of passion enter their lives and watch them pursue it.
Sure.
So part of me is like, it would be so fun to have a kid like you who is just weirdly in his room learning a mime routine and putting on eyeliner and stuff. It's so bizarre, but you'd have to recognize, oh my God, this kid has a passion.
There's no doubt. Like my mom and dad, to their credit, were like, you're good. You're not a great actor. You're not, this is not, I don't ever want to see, Lacombered Angel with you in it again, but they would support me. And there's that thing where at some point where I'd played soccer my whole life and I was a pretty good goalie, and it was before I hit puberty and grew. But they're like, in high school, I left a sport that I was like,
proficient.
I was good. Yeah. And that's it's a game changer. Like you're in high school sports. And I said, look, I'm doing theater. I'm going to keep doing it. And after, I didn't go to college. I went to college for a year. I had 19 units of theater arts and like 2 units of math. And I failed math and I got A's on everything else. And I finally looked at my mom and dad. I'm like, look, this is all I've ever done. It's all I've ever been good at. I'm going to go try it. And if it sucks, I'll come back. And to me, like, I always thought I'd be a kid doing Man of La Mancha in Placentia. I mean, somewhere in the world doing like regional theater. I never thought I would end up making a movie, let alone, had a 30-year career. So it's that thing where, look, whatever your kid's after, the more you can pat a kid who's lost on the ass and say, you're doing a great job, I think it's super powerful.
So Scream is, you're doing fine. You're making a living. You don't have to wait tables. Then you get Scream and you're how old? 24?
25 or 26.
Which is funny because from my perspective at the time, you've always been 5 years older than me. So you were very much a man and that was a role someone should occupy, like you were a grown up. I was 20 when you did that.
Right.
But of course, now in hindsight, in retrospect, you were 25.
Sure.
Hilarious. That's bonkers.
That's
I
crazy.
imagine giving 25-year-old Dax any level of success like that, I would be frightened for both of us.
Right.
So you're 25. That movie comes out. It's just gigantic, right? My memory is correct, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes your memory's wrong. Like Shawshank
no.
was a financial disaster, which blows my. Yes.
I didn't
Isn't that bonkers?
That's crazy.
But Scream was gigantic, right?
No, but the funny thing is that Scream, I saw Wes Craven and Marianne like the weekend it came out, and he said, "Hey, we're gonna have a celebratory dinner," and we had made like $10 million. I mean, it came out on Christmas Day,
Oh, wow.
Oh.
and
Counter programming, as they call it.
That's how they sort of started with it.
Oh, really?
And they were like, "We're having a celebratory dinner." I'm like, and this is before internet, so you don't have access to box offices. Like, you would call in a phone number,
Yeah.
and they would have a recording of box office, which is so crazy. But he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a celebratory dinner," and we had this dinner, and he said, "We're a huge hit." I'm like, "We're not a huge hit."
Yeah.
And he
By
said,
what metrics?
He said that every exit poll that they had was the highest sort of rated exit poll, and they could sort of project that out to be this monster hit. And sure enough, a month later, it
It's
was
still
on
making
fire.
the same amount of money, probably.
And crushing. I mean, it just started crushing. For like 4 or 6 weeks, it increased box office.
And I don't even know if that, I like to wish that there was room in the marketplace today for that to happen, but I don't feel like that can happen now.
Well, certainly nobody makes. I mean, that movie was such a risk at the time. I mean, Wes Craven had not had a success in a long time.
Uh-huh.
It was in an era where people were not looking to cross promote and hit every demographic. So the idea that Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell, that were both television stars, would star in a movie was sort of like that's
Counterintuitive at the time.
so you're doing a movie with a guy that hasn't made a good movie with women that were from a television show, and you're like, the script's good. Like, I read the script, I distinctly remember reading the script in this back house. I just come to LA. I was staying at somebody's back house, and I started to read it, and I was like, this is terrifying. The opening sequence where, spoiler alert,
Well,
Yeah.
there's got to
Drew
be a
Barrymore.
window on
Yeah.
spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
Drew
If you
Barrymore
haven't caught it in
gets-
20 years, fuck you.
right? It's your fault. But, she gets killed. I'm like, oh my God. And I put it down.
That was kind of a genius move too,
Huge.
which I feel like was a paradigm breaker.
For
That
sure.
hadn't been. They did it masterfully in Hurt Locker. You saw Hurt Locker?
Yeah.
Because the movie starts out with Guy Pearce, right? He's or is he come in halfway through? The movie only had 2 stars in it, and they killed both of them right away. Ray Fiennes and I believe at the very
really?
beginning, Guy Pearce was the first guy in the Hurt Locker, and you're like, oh, I know Guy Pearce. I've seen him in a bunch of movies. This guy's the lead of the movie, and they fucking blow him up.
Oh,
It's like a genius use
That's awesome.
of
well, yeah.
recognizable talent, and you kill him, and you go, oh, the stakes of this movie are real. They'll kill
Yeah.
anyone because they just killed a star.
Sure.
It's kind of genius.
It was
but it
good.
started there, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely was. I thought it was at the time. I was like, this is incredible. And she shot that whole first week.
And how
And she was on all the posters. Remember, the image is her on the
Yeah.
poster.
Do you know any of the behind the scenes how they got? I mean, what a hard
No.
get that is to approach. She was a big star then to go,
For
hey,
sure.
we're going to kill you in the first 5 minutes. Do you
I
want
think
in?
that she was all. I think
She
she was
must-
game.
Okay.
They killed her, and then, yeah,
You were reading the script and you put it down and you were like, oh, this
terrified.
is scary.
And then what? Yeah, but the funny thing about that movie is that movie blew up, and I wasn't really, I was like outside of your perspective. I mean, like I was a guy from Scream, which was a defining moment, but that movie, Neve Campbell became an overnight huge. She became a monster.
Did you guys
star.
meet on the set of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Courtney was a big star. There's so many people like, my name isn't on the poster anywhere. It wasn't like it was my movie. So everyone's like, oh my God, Scream changed your life. I'm like, it didn't. Actually, it didn't. Like, I was still doing small parts in small movies and getting scale 10. In fact, at some point I had, I found my wife and we were getting married and I didn't have a job and I didn't have, I wasn't making ends meet. And there's a movie called Summer Catch that I did with Freddie Prinze Jr. And Freddie and I had just done like 3 movies back to back to back. And I'm like, dude, I need a movie so bad. I need you to call this director and put in the work.
That's the baseball movie?
Yeah.
I think I also watched that one after Without a Paddle.
Yeah.
To support. Yeah.
So good. You're so dear. Such a dear.
It's confusing, right? It's like,
No.
am I a dick? Am I nice?
You're
But
never a dick.
you weren't after wow, because my perspective of this scenario is so different. So after
Yeah.
Scream, you didn't just get offered a bazillion things,
God,
really?
I've never been offered a bazillion things.
Really?
Even, I mean, in Scooby Doo, I sat down after Scooby Doo. I sat down with James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
And we pitched Plastic Man to the studio.
Really?
As like a sort of like,
Yeah.
as a good
You would
way
have been a great
entrance.
Plastic
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
They didn't go.
You were
for it.
ahead of your time.
I tell that story all the time. Was you and I
And
with
Bart
Bart,
the bear.
Bart crossing in front of us. Remember that?
And he just stopped and
And he
looked at
stopped,
us.
and then Bart, and he like, "Whoa." And remember the guy was like, "Don't, Bart, no, Bart,
Him running at
don't,
Bart.
Bart." And you're like, "Boys, don't run!" And I'm like, "What the fuck are we supposed to do?" As Bart
Yeah.
is like preparing to attack.
He target locked us.
Yeah.
And
That
those
was
guys
not
had the little
good.
bats, and they were running with the bats in
Yeah,
their hand.
oh,
And so
God.
all the signals I was receiving is like, we're about
This
to
is
get
bad.
killed. Like
This
they've got
is
the
really
bats
bad.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got the trank gun up. Remember they had a guy with a trank gun.
Yes. And the story I always tell from that is that the very first scene that any of us had with Bart was you and Seth facing Bart, and me with my back turned to Bart.
Oh yeah, he
And on
raises up
take
behind
one,
you.
yes. But before that ever happened, I don't know if you remember this, but Bart just up and out of nowhere tore apart the fake tree, and you guys could see it, and I couldn't. And Bart's behind me, 2 feet behind me, and all of a sudden your guys' eyes get really wide, and Bart's just like, and just fucking gouging that fake tree and just tore it to shreds.
Dude, remember he was on
Coffee.
whipped cream and coffee.
Coffee and donuts. They had a big
Oh
pan
my
of donuts
God.
for him. But also they told us right when we got there, like the 3 things you couldn't do is A, you couldn't look him in the eyes.
Right.
B, you can't act afraid around him. And B, never run. Remember
Right.
that? Those were
It's
the
terrible.
3
Yes.
rules.
Don't
and the
run,
very,
boys.
very first scene is me turning around, looking him in the eyes, screaming at the top of my lungs, and then take off running. I'm like, what are you, this good? Were they fucking with us? Were those really the 3 rules? Because I have to break all 3 of them. And remember, I kept going like, but how does Bart know I'm not actually scared and screaming?
running.
Like, is he that good of a detector of good or bad
I
acting?
remember when we at some point they had a guy come in and bless the river. They had right when we went to we went to work on the Waireki.
Oh, that's I wouldn't
That was
remember
good.
that. Good.
Do you remember the dinner we had for Burt Reynolds the night he
Yeah,
showed up?
yeah, yeah.
That was the best.
So great. He
You
told
were
us that-
so happy. I've never seen anyone so happy to meet anyone in my whole life.
I don't
You
think to
love
this
Burt
day.
Reynolds.
Oh, he's my number one.
Oh,
As
yeah.
a kid, I still am just trying to be Burt Reynolds. I mean, that ship has sailed, but that's who I was trying to be. I wanted to peel out in cars and make out with Sally Field and then make a bunch of money.
He's the best. He was the best.
In the
Remember
stories,
how humble he was? He was so humble.
best storyteller I've ever to this day
Ah.
heard. Do you remember the story he told about Hal Needham, who is the most legendary stuntman ever to live, and he directed all those movies, Smoking the Bandit, Hooper,
Sharky's Machine.
I think Burt might have directed Sharky's, but yes, he directed Gator, a bunch, just a legendary dude. They were roommates at Burt's height of his superpowers, biggest star in the world, and these 2 knuckleheads lived together. And Hal Needham drove a Ferrari around, whatever. And he said that he never saw Hal ever hurt. He would never acknowledge he's hurt. And he came home one day from work and he said to Burt, their roommates, you got to take me to the hospital. And Burt's like, okay, what's going on? He goes, I broke my back. And Burt goes, well, you couldn't have broke your back. You wouldn't have been able to walk in here. And he's like, Burt, I fucking broke my back. Take me to the doctor right now. So Burt takes him to the Santa Monica hospital. This is all Burt's story, not mine. Hal starts flirting with the nurse. And he and the nurse have something going. You know, Hal's asking for her phone number. The doctor comes in, and per Burt's assessment, the doctor and the nurse had a thing going on. So the doctor did not like Hal Needham flirting with the nurse. And so the doctor at one point said, after the examination, you have broken your back and you have a bunch of fluid in your lungs. And I've got to drain the fluid out of your lungs right now. So you need to put your hands up against the wall. He said he got this huge needle out. He said, you may pass out when I do this. It's happened. So he had the nurse hold Hal Needham's legs, and Hal Needham was wearing the skirt you wear when you're at the hospital,
Sure.
the gown. So the woman's under him holding his legs. The doctor's got this huge needle. He plunges it into Hal's back, and Hal shits all over the nurse. Diarrhea's all over the. Do you remember that story?
No,
Of all the things that I thought were coming in that story, the very last thing I thought was that the punchline was Hal shit on the nurse he was just hitting on. I was like, what? That story? I think I remember having the moment where I was like, who cares if this story's real? It's what a story.
Oh, that's
he shit all over.
hilarious.
He told that at the first dinner that we all
That's
had.
hilarious.
I just want to hear between Scream and Without a Paddle. But
Yeah.
you did many Screams, right?
No,
3?
only one.
Oh, because you got
I
killed.
got killed. I was supposed to do Scream 3. And then the month before we started to shoot, Columbine High School happened.
Ooh.
And the idea was that I was still alive, revealed in like the last act of the movie, and I was running high school killers from jail.
Oh.
And so when that happened, they
They
changed
said this
that.
is not a good time to do
It's
this
not
storyline.
we're going to change this.
Wow. Oh God. Wow. So that my memory's completely wrong. I felt like you were in a couple of those, but
No,
you weren't.
just one. And then I mean,
So you missed the big
Scooby-Doo was
paydays.
big.
You missed
all
the-
of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I mean, Scooby-Doo was Scooby-Doo.
No,
2
I mean
was
on the
great.
Screams because
Oh,
they did
yeah.
3 or 4 of them.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
they do
for sure.
Yeah, and they sure went up incrementally every
Yeah.
year.
Oh, they did.
What
really
year did you do Scooby Doo?
It was the day it came out. Scooby-Doo 1 came out the day my daughter was born.
Oh,
So 2002.
and she brought a huge present with her.
And the head of the studio called and said, "Congratulations." I'm like, "Yeah, she's beautiful." He's like, "No, we just greenlit Scooby-Doo 2." I'm like, "Yes."
Oh wow.
But it's funny. So they were gonna do Scooby-Doo 3. And I used to be so jealous. I used to be really competitive.
Uh-huh.
And I still am competitive, but I used to get really jealous. I used to
Uh-huh.
get really worked up. And Scooby-Doo came and Freddie Prinze Jr. made a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
And I was clear that I was like, a big part of the success of Scooby-Doo. And I was like, I want to get paid whatever Freddie Prinze Jr. gets paid. Because at that time, they were trying to do Scooby-Doo 3.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to do both. They wanted to pre-negotiate 3 because they were going to do
Sure.
the trilogy. And they would not come up to his number. And I was like, you know what? I'm walking.
Ah.
And my agent, God bless him, and my manager, God bless her, and my lawyer, God bless him, were like, you're like literally like, okay, bye. And my lawyer, Matt Johnson, called me up right after I hung up the phone with all my team. And he's like, I'm not gonna let you do that on behalf of your family. Because it was a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, you don't know what's gonna happen for 3, and you don't know where it's gonna go, and that's not happening. I'm like, but it's bullshit. I was so upset
Yes.
that I wasn't getting what he was getting.
Yes, and it's the cancer we all have.
It's so
which is,
horrible.
Had you gone back in time and tapped Tam on the shoulder and said there's going to be a moment where you're
For
going to get
sure.
offered, let's just say it was $2 million to go do a funny voice in a movie, Tam would have fucking shit his lycra
He wouldn't
pants.
have believed it.
He wouldn't have believed it.
No.
But the second we compare it to something else, now everything changes, right?
I'm literally living my Tam dreams.
Yes. But my ego is very preoccupied with what someone
Somebody
else is making. Yeah.
Even though you're making well above the poverty line.
Yes.
It's so
I've
look,
done it too.
It's
well,
petulant.
look, I was
and it's
aware
gross.
of it. It's so funny because I'll just out myself. Here I am in Without a Paddle. It's the biggest break of my life. What an honor to be equal parts of a movie with 2 guys that have been working for 20 years or however many years it had been. And even at times I was like, we're all doing the same thing. And these guys are making 4 times as much as me.
Right.
This isn't fair. Mind you, when I got the movie, I couldn't
Sure.
believe they were paying me what they were going to pay me. I was like, oh, well, I haven't made that much in 10 years combined. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Sure.
Life's great. And then I kind of suss out what you guys are making. Now all of a sudden I'm underpaid.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid.
Well, look, I will say that I teach. So in this moment in my life where I was like struggling to make it, I had this whole thing where I was having a hard time after Without a Paddle. I wasn't working. I didn't work.
Well, I really want to talk about that. Yeah. Because that to me feels like a humongous injustice
Huge.
that even if
Huge.
I feel like it's a huge injustice, I can't imagine what it was like to be inside of that.
Oh yeah.
And if I feel like if I were you, I would have fucking hated my guts.
Your guts.
Yes.
No. But was I jealous? Yes.
But I would have been furious.
No, but I wasn't, but I don't.
You liked me enough that.
Yeah.
that
And I also
overcame
like, I would never have ill will,
Right.
but there's a part of me that's like, what the fuck?
Well, it was an injustice. Because I was new, that was exciting.
Sure.
And you were not new. But we were in the
sure.
same movie. You were technically the lead of the movie. It was
Sure.
your
This
story.
romantic guy going, yes,
You
for
get
sure.
the girl at the end. It's
For sure.
your movie.
And it was that was like the first time in my life I had a movie and it opened great and we did great.
Yes,
And I
way better. To this day, the most successful thing I've ever been in.
And literally
you
no
drop
calls.
off after that.
Drop off the cliff. And
It's
it was
so
that thing where it's
crazy.
like,
I'm telling you from the outside, it was completely unfair. That still to me has never made a lick of sense.
it was weird. I don't know. I don't know why that happened. I don't know. And I think I'm a nice guy.
You're
Like,
super nice.
I don't
Everyone
know-
that's worked with you likes working with you.
I've never like thrown like a temper tantrum. I'm not a petulant. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. It was like it was a very clear fall from grace.
Because I have to imagine if I'm you, the movie does great. I'm the lead of it.
Here we go.
Here come the scripts.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Like here, we're off and running. Why wouldn't it be off and running? So
I also
you know-
think though that the industry was a tiny bit more fickle then
sure.
than it is now.
For sure. Look, in the back of my mind, I'm like, look, I've always been successful, quote
Mhm.
unquote. I've always
You've
found
always
jobs.
worked, yeah.
I've always worked. I've always made enough money to feed my kids. At the time, there were no kids, but you know, I'd done well. And this moment at the height, and I'd gone like Wicker Park, Scooby Doo. I mean, I'd gone like 4 movies in a row that ended in Without a Paddle. I'm like, I'm going to take time off. Cut to, you know, 3 years later, I hadn't and not really worked.
Right.
And this moment came along in my life where I was like, I've talked about this before, but you know, I had this moment where I wasn't working. We were living off of the money I'd made on Scooby, and we were spending it fast because I'm like, well, I'm going to work. I'm
Yeah.
going to make a big movie, and cut to not making a big movie, not working, and having kids, and sort of like not having any fear of buying anything, you know, like
Right.
buying new cribs or whatever it was. And hubris, like this real sense of like, I don't know, like that I had earned my place and that it would come back, and this sense of security. So long story, even longer. Somebody called me up, and by the way, the whole time I'm calling my agent and my manager. What's
Driving
where?
them,
Where am
yeah.
I? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
I've
I'm
done-
calling 3 times, 4 times a day, saying, "Hey, did you guys follow up on what about this thing in the trades?" Like I am
On it.
jonesing, panicking, and
Yeah.
not having the capacity to be like, what am I doing? And I have nothing else in my life. And my manager said, or my lawyer, my agent said, why don't you go out and volunteer to help people? I'm like, whatever. How about you give me a fucking job? I will volunteer when I have a job.
Yeah.
And so
I will volunteer when I have a job. When I'm too busy.
When I can't, yes.
I will volunteer.
so I go and I get an offer. I get a call to see if I'd be interested in Dancing with the Stars, sort of at the height of Dancing with the Stars.
Mhm.
Not an offer to do it, but would you be interested?
Taking your temperature.
Yeah. And my agent calls me, and my manager calls me and says, we kind of think you should consider it. And this is right after my father-in-law said, you know, if you sell pharmaceuticals, you'll make a lot of money, because we didn't have any, we were struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, son, you're struggling. Go get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of my mind, I've made 30 movies.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to, am I going to go sell pharmaceuticals? I don't want to do that.
Uh-huh.
Am I going to take Dancing with the Stars?
Mm.
And because in my life, look, as a kid, my goal has always been, I want to win an Academy Award. I
Mm-hmm.
want to win an Emmy and a Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I
Mhm.
know. But like as a kid, that was a motivating factor.
Sure.
And I'm looking at my life, and I'm looking at this moment, and the stock market's crashed.
Uh-huh.
Like we're in the middle of like the whole world is falling apart.
Yeah.
In this moment, I was like, my entire life is built on my own ego.
Yeah.
My entire life is, I feel like I'm owed something. I feel like I'm a bigger star than I actually am.
Mm.
I feel like this is all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm struggling, and I can't get a pilot, and I'm broke, and I have to change it.
Yeah.
And instead of going and taking another crap movie, I literally said to my wife, we have to change our life. And she, being the godsend that she is, she's like, I totally agree. We sold our house.
Uh-huh.
We got rid of our fast cars,
Uh-huh.
and we changed how we lived our life. And just was like, I'm going back, and I'm going to start teaching acting.
Uh-huh.
I will live on that.
Well, let me just also add, you're painting a certain picture of yourself, which is of course accurate on one hand, but then on the other hand, you also had always this crazy love for acting in theater. And you even at the height of that mania, maybe would have readings at your house all the time.
Sure.
You love
Still do it.
acting. You love actors.
love
you
actors.
love reading stuff. You love performing. So I will just add into this recipe. It's not like you had been, had turned your back on the thing that you loved, or that you had, became only interested in the monetizing of all that. Like, you were at your core still a
Tam.
fucking.
I was
you
still
were Tam.
Tam.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
still
But
that's
Tam.
the thing.
You have a pure love for it,
Yes.
which in a time of that identity crisis, it would be hard for me to recognize that. But I can see where you should go like, oh, forget all this. I love this thing. How do
Yes.
I actively do this thing? Whether it's in a teaching capacity, being in plays at places that I'm not proud of the theater, but whatever.
Who cares
I still
what-
have this fire in me for this
Yes.
thing. Get refocused on that.
Yeah. And the thing is like, how do I tell my kids, how do I parent my kids to chase dreams if I'm going to go and do Dancing with the Stars and completely disavow my celebrity means nothing. I mean, literally going back to, I'd rather do an incredible part and make no money
Yes.
than, and so.
But I wouldn't have even imagined that the Dancing with the Stars appeal was the moment in the spotlight as much as just money. I'm
Money,
sure they offer
for
a
sure.
good amount of money to do relatively
Sure,
short
yes.
thing. That would have been.
And you're like, and there's the idea of like, oh, you're still alive. And there is that thing. Like, I was a kid that came up. And I do think that Scooby Doo was this weird moment where I was 32 years old and 34 years old playing a teenager.
Yeah.
And there was that moment of like, I looked a little like a crackhead. And people are like, well, we don't really need, the thing of like the transition to being a kid into a man was really tough for me. And, and I will say that this moment of definition sort of changed my life. I went back to teach. I went back to class. So I'm like back in acting class, and it was awesome. And then out of that came The Descendants, which was a movie I did with George Clooney. Which,
Oh, yeah. I had bumped into you right after you shot that.
oh yeah.
Again, I remember being so excited
Oh
that
yeah.
you were
sure,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And then I want to say you were asked to jog down the beach like 35
Yeah.
times
It
the
was
exact
super-
same way.
And it's hilarious that in that moment, for some reason, it's because I just had a kid, I think. I put on like all this weight. So the story goes like this. I get this call on Wednesday saying, hey, or I get a call on Thursday saying, you want to go in tomorrow and meet Alexander Payne for a new George Clooney movie? I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
working.
I'll meet him in
I've
Nebraska.
sold my
where-
house.
yeah.
Like, we're like changing your life. Oh, yes, of course I want to do that. And so I go in and I have this moment where I just started doing I'm the voice of Shaggy. So I've been the voice of Shaggy for the last 15 years.
Like in the cartoons.
14 years. Yeah. But anyway, so there's a moment where I just done my first movie for Warner Brothers, like the video, the DVD. And because my kids had done great at school and they were little, I was going to take them to go see this, they were screening at Warner's. So it was a big deal. We bought like new outfits and we're like, it's a lot screening. It's not that big of a deal, but we had made a big deal out of it because of grades. So I had this moment, like it was at 6:00 on a Friday and they want to see me at 5:00 in Santa Monica.
Oh,
so on Friday,
undoable.
it's undoable. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
unless you have a helicopter.
So I call up and I was like, hey, just tell them I'd like to come in earlier, right? We'll just change the time. And so they call me back. They can't do it. You have to go in at 5:00. That's just the way it's going to be. I'm like, oh gosh. So I'm going to try to get there early, but because of traffic, it takes me forever from Pasadena to get to Santa Monica. I show up at 5:00. So I'm sitting in my car and I have this moment. I can right now go upstairs and get a part I'm never going to get. I play George Clooney's wife's lover.
Yes.
Right. So I'm the guy that George Clooney's wife is doing.
Yeah.
I'm
you're
not-
the guy.
I'm
You're
not getting
the
that job.
guy on Good Girls.
Yeah.
This is why you deserve this.
Yes, I'm going to get, but like, who is going into this thing? You are never going like
Steal
nobody's-
George Clooney's gal.
Never.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no effing way, but I want this job. I want the opportunity to go work in front of Alexander Payne. So it's 5:00. If I leave that moment, I can get them to hold the movie for a half hour. I can probably get there. So I'm literally sitting in Santa Monica. I'm like, God dang it. So I pick up the phone and call my agent. I'm like, hey, I'm going to bail out of this audition. Just reschedule it for next week. And she's like, you can't do that. You just have to go inside and go see what happens. This is my agent's assistant. My agent's not available. And I'm like, oh gosh. So I go upstairs and
She's
walk.
negotiating a Freddie Prinze Jr. contract.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know where she is, but she is. So I walk in this room and there's like 7 Adonises. There's like 7 beautiful men. Like they're like, I don't know them. They know me that, and they don't. But that dude's gorgeous. That dude has abs. That dude has the chin of a god. I am never getting this job. So I literally turn on my heels. I'm like, I'm walking out, and so I'm literally pick up the phone. I'm like, I'm gonna bet that they're gonna reschedule at some point. And she says to me, Matt, you can't leave. They didn't want to see you. They didn't want you to audition. We had somebody else that was scheduled there that couldn't make it. Oh, wow. So we are going to slam you in.
Oh, wow.
So it's either now or never. You're never getting back in that room.
Oh, wow.
So I literally stop on my tracks. I'm like, well,
what a moment for
what
your
am I going to
ego,
do?
by the way.
Whoa, and on top of it.
Right before you go
Right
audition,
before,
too. They don't want you. They hate you.
They're not
They
interested at all.
said they'd rather drive past you if you were on fire on the side of the road.
Anyone but you. And this whole room of like, God, these dudes are gorgeous. So I walk in. So I say to the handsome clan, I'm like, guys, I have my kid. I'm taking him to a movie. Do you mind if I slip in? And so they all say yes.
Oh, that's nice.
So I walk in the room and I say to Alexander Payne, I'm like, look, I can't. I'm super charming. I promise you, I'm nice. Can we just audition so I can take my kids to this movie thing in the Valley? If you don't mind. And he's like, yes, go ahead. And so I auditioned, and I worked on it really hard. I wanted it to be good. And he said, that's the best audition I've ever seen. I'm
no.
like, I swear to God.
Oh my God.
I mean, something akin to that. It's that was incredible or whatever. And I was like, yeah, too bad I'm never getting this fucking job. And he was like, why would you say that? I'm like, look at my face, dude. I am not the guy stealing Clooney's wife ever. And the casting director was like, why don't you get out of the room and go take your kids? And I did. And like 6 months later, I got a phone call on my,
6 months.
Oh my God.
He takes forever to cast.
6 months later.
So Alexander
of
Payne,
course, in your mind, you did not get that.
No, of course not. Why would I ever? And
yeah.
at some point, like a month in, I got word back that I was being highly considered. I'm like, I'm never getting this job. And now it's 6 months later, and his whole thing is he's really interesting. He takes forever to cast. He'll see everyone. He wants to be in the room. He wants to see them work. He takes a lot of different takes. So he has a whole palette to cut from. And he takes forever to cut. It took like a year. He'll edit as long as he wants.
Oh, wow.
And he has the kind of power, and he sort of crafts the movie he wants out of all these options.
But back to the beach. He did make you run down the beach a couple hundred times.
Yeah.
Or was it down the street?
No, it was down the beach.
It was down the beach.
It was down the beach.
And you weren't at your best cardiovascular
I was so heavy.
training.
I was so heavy. I thought my answer for getting a George Clooney's Wife's Lover movie, that I would put on like 20 pounds.
Sure, that makes
total
total
what
sense.
I was doing, but I was
you
like,
almost start thinking to yourself, well, we need an explanation. So I'm so opposite from him. That's why she was attracted to
Well,
me.
my
By the
favorite
way,
thing to
you're
do, by
20
the way.
times better looking than you think you are, but I think that's true for all of us.
yes.
But yes, you
but
could
against
definitely.
Clooney, you're like,
Yeah,
why is this? I mean, blast
For my money, first of all, I've met him as well. He's a
Right.
lovely guy. He's
So
very
good.
gregarious,
He's
charming.
awesome.
But for my money, I'm at a bar. I talked to both of you. I'm definitely going home with you.
No,
100%. And I bet a lot of women feel that way.
no way,
100%. Monica, will you back me up on this?
Well,
Put
she
yourself
can't
at
look
the
me.
bar.
She
The
The
can't
problem
look
is
at me.
I
No, she'll
don't
tell you the
know-
fucking
no,
truth. She's
I
an
don't
assassin.
know anything about his
Clooney.
personality.
Okay.
You have a tremendous personality.
Yeah, you really
Oh
do.
my
Yeah, it's real
gosh.
sparkly.
This is my favorite.
I think you look.
This is
Here's
my
what I
favorite
think. If I'm
moment.
a woman, I look at you and I look at Clooney. I look at you and I go, "This is going to be a party. This is going to be a fun life." I look at Clooney. I'm like, he's the alpha of the group. It means I have high status too, and I got to keep my shit tight, and I'm going to be afraid I'm losing him all the time. Yeah, I'm going back to party time.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Like one
I
seems
do-
really fun, and one just seems like status
Well,
to
you
me.
have. I mean, look, your life as a single man, you
Yeah.
were fine.
I did
You
fine,
did
yeah.
unbelievably well,
I'm
and
tall.
that was because you're tall
Yeah.
and super funny. I do think that funny and charm
It's an aphrodisiac.
women.
is
for
something.
sure.
Thank
Yes.
God.
And you're
Thank
like
God.
confident in that space.
Yeah.
I was relatively confident in that space. Is good.
Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah,
at
so-
any point, so clearly you go into that job. You're so grateful to have it. There's no question, right?
Yeah.
And yet, on the 25th time jogging down the beach, forget
Right.
about the training, like just your own,
Or
the
lack
own
thereof.
wall you're hitting.
Thank God I put on shoes. They're like, "Do you want shoes or no shoes?" I'm like, "Shoes." And I thought I was super heavy, so super insecure. Like, what is he
On
trying to
top
make
of
me
it, okay.
skinny in the moment? I'm not going to be
If they
skinny.
shoot this
I
long
didn't have
enough.
breakfast. I didn't have it.
Enough takes,
It's
you'll be
hilarious.
down to
Well,
160.
there was a moment where I have this moment with Clooney where I say, I love my wife. And every single time I ever worked on it, I said, I love my wife. And my whole body lights up with like an energy that's like electric,
Yeah,
right?
which is probably your real feelings for Heather.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And every time it comes out of my mouth, I literally am like trying to hold it together,
Yeah.
which I thought would have really served the scene.
Yeah.
So I get there that day and I feel nothing. I might take one, take two, three, and he does a lot of takes, and I'm like, I feel I got nothing going on.
Uh-huh.
So I get to my close up, and we've now been on the scene for a long time. And I like George a lot. He's great, but it's not like, we're not sitting. It's like the first day we've worked together. We're not talking, I'm not going to him like, hey, this is what I'm going to try.
Yeah.
But in this moment, I did this scene where I was like, you know what? And I start to go off improv because I want to light myself up.
Sure, and then bring it maybe
And then
even
bring it back.
down to
Yes.
the,
Like, here's my belief. And then come back.
Yeah.
You know who I love? I love my daughter, Addison. I love my. Cut! What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, God. That's
And I was like,
Alexander
oh,
said.
my, yes. What are you doing? What are those words?
Who the fuck
What
is
are you
it?
doing?
Who are these people?
And literally, Clooney's like, big-eyed, staring at me, going, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I was trying really hard to be acty.
But you never got rattled. You were able to just recognize, oh, this is his process. It's not about me. It's about that. This
Yeah.
is just his process. And you never took it personal.
No.
That's awesome. Now, do you have a perspective now? And I'll just start with my thing. So for 3 years straight, pretty much, I directed.
Mhm.
I did Chips for 2 years, and then I was working on Scooby for a year. And I created this identity and this narrative for myself, which was, I know what I'm doing the next 10 years. It's going to be directing 5 more movies.
Sure.
And this is how my life's going to work. And I am now a director, blah, 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 blah. When Chips comes out and doesn't do well, the hard part for me wasn't, that the movie didn't do well, because I still love the movie I made,
Sure.
which is all you can really hope for. But it was that I went, oh, fuck, this identity I've been wearing for 3 years. I'm a director. This is what I'm doing for the next 10 years. Just collapsed. And that was the very hardest thing to get past. It's
Sure.
like, you're not going to be directing for the next 10 years. That's, in fact, not going to happen. Who are you now?
Right.
Because I've been wearing this hat for 3 years. I'm a director. My wife might be making more money than me and stuff, but I'm not bothered by it because I'm a director. Like,
Sure.
it's just this weird
Sure.
identity I had for myself.
Sure.
And I think anytime that thing shatters and you've now got to figure out again what your identity is, it can often be a blessing. For me, I think it was a complete blessing, because if I had been a director for the next 10 years, I'm missing a lot more of my kids' lives than I'm currently missing.
Right.
And it would have been through no fault of my own. It's just a very time-consuming job. And I now, on the other side of it, feel very good about everything that happened. I'm sitting here talking to you, doing something I absolutely love. I always end up doing something I love. It's all fine. And even more proof that my identity should never really probably be my job. So having gone through that phase where after Without a Paddle, you were frustrated as hell, you went back to acting. Did you zero in an identity that's more stable and maintainable and one you're proud of?
So, first of all, I love that you have the capacity to articulate that, because I think that so many times that people listen to our stories, or you read the article, or you see that hit piece for 3 minutes on Entertainment Tonight, and you're like, it's all bling. You look at your life
Sure.
with your wife, and people are like, oh, he's got it made. There's no problem. It's all good. And I think that in this moment that we've, this catastrophic moment in my human life, there was this moment of humbling, right? And this moment of, what am I as a man?
Mm-hmm.
And it's changed my life completely. I mean, I don't talk to my agents and my managers anymore. I'm on a great show. I love my show, but I just started a Dungeons and Dragons company with 5 of my best friends.
Uh-huh.
We've been playing for 26 years.
Oh, that's another thing.
We launched in June. I started this thing where I had this moment where I was receiving an award as a philanthropic actor
Mm-hmm.
from 5 Acres. And as I'm receiving this award, I feel like a complete sham. You know, I'll tweet or I'll be at a party and it's garbage. And I was away at this thing called Hatch, which is this collection of people in Montana that are trying to save the world. And I had this vision, and I literally like, oh, I'm gonna start a poetry slam for kids living in foster care. So I bring in these world-class poets, and we work and we implement this poetry program for the course of the year. And then we do the slam poetry. Single greatest thing in my life. You know, and we
an actual esteemable act, which is how you get self-esteem, which is how you feel good.
Yeah, and you're
being in a hit movie actually isn't an esteemable.
Nothing.
No, it's just it's
nothing.
awesome. It's ego and it's money. Yeah.
It's a job.
Yeah,
and
it's so it can evaporate because it's not real. It's not an actual thing to have esteem about.
But you never have a pediatrician going, when's my next patient coming in? I need another patient. When's my next patient? I need a patient. Can I have a patient? Please let me have a patient. Why doesn't that patient like me?
Also, if I don't have patients, I'm no longer a pediatrician.
Yeah,
no, you're
like
a pediatrician. Yeah, but we'll start feeling like
crazy.
I'm not an actor if I'm not being paid to act.
So in my life, in my teaching, like the very first time I taught, I came up with this analogy of the antelope. And so this is the dumbest analogy ever, but I use it all the time. Our job as artists, which is what you are, whether you were born that way or you have made yourself that way now, is to travel across the Serengeti to die with the other artists. My whole goal is to be with the other artists when I die. So
that's a neat goal.
And what happens is that, you know, you go left and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm going to take this side job. And young actors, like, I'm going to, you know, you come out of school and you're like, I'm a waiter to pay for acting class. But then they make you, the manager, and then you're a bartender. And all of a sudden now you're working 4 nights a week. You haven't been in acting class in 6 years and you're still calling yourself an actor, but you're really a bartender. You've gone off the path. Right. You've been eaten by the alligator at the watering hole on the way across the Serengeti. So our goal is, and we all get lost. And the only way to make it across, I think, the Serengeti to die with the other artists is to travel as a pact, to travel with a bunch of other people that are like you. And that's what that night of reading of plays in my house is about. It has nothing to do with being a dad or being or in this business. It's about being surrounded by other people like you.
Yeah.
And I think that for us is a really hard thing to understand because it's so individualized. You can sit in your house and be like, why am I not working? And you're lost. And it's not till you get with other people that are like you that you realize, oh, this is what I'm born to do.
Do you also find, and it's sad that our families can be a backup plan, but I think it's also very common, which is in that moment of identity crisis for me, what was so nice is like, oh no, I'm still a dad. Like I take so much pride and pleasure and esteem out of being a dad.
Sure.
It's just the greatest for me thing. And I think even getting through the CHIPS experience was so aided by the fact that I had a more primary purpose, which is I got to be a dad.
Sure.
And do you find that too for you is like the kind of the cornerstone of your identity and self-esteem?
Look, but you can't leave your self-esteem there either, right? There's always
why? Because they leave.
Yeah, they leave.
My plan is for them to stay at home forever. I'm the only parent who wants their kids to be fucking losers. I don't want them to ever move out of their bedrooms. I'll even let like shitty dudes come live there too if it means they stay.
The older they get, I mean, your kids are, how old are your kids?
3 and 5.
Yeah. So you're in the
kindergarten was last week.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old, and their whole mission is to break up with you.
Right.
And you're like, I literally am like, oh, you can't give me attitude. I'm in love with you. Yes. What are you doing?
Yes, this is what
are you doing? What, and my son, he's a soccer player and like, but he's a good soccer player. And we share soccer together. We share, like, we'll go to a tournament and we'll like sleep in we'll sleep in our hotel room and then we'll get up and have breakfast together. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, it's a
and
buddy.
I know at some point he's going to take it away from me. He's going to be like, I don't want to do this because of you. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. This joke is a polarizing joke, but I'll say it anyways. We went to, Erica Christensen.
Yeah, sure.
We went to her wedding my oldest daughter at the time was probably 2.5, 3. And she saw Erica in the wedding dress for the first time. So it's kind of the first, like, her understanding of marriage and wedding and everything. And we're walking to go get our seats. And she said, I'm going to marry you, Daddy. And I said, oh, I can't wait. And Kristen goes to me, you know, you can't marry our daughter. And I said, are you kidding? I'd be the perfect husband. I'd spoil her senseless. I'd never want to have sex with her because she's my child. What more could she ask for? Just a sugar daddy who doesn't ever need to sleep in the same bed. I mean, isn't that the dream?
I don't think it's it's
not.
Monica, you need to
not
shut
the dream.
that down.
I'm going to work
There
on
is
it.
a hashtag for that. I guarantee you. All right, you want to know what I learned from you and Seth?
Yeah, please.
So I will tell you that in my life, there are very few times where I get quiet. Like I will be the pauper to the president. Like I will engage. And the two of you were so fast and so funny and so charismatic that I tried so hard so many times to compete with the two of you. Like we'll be at dinner or we'll be in a moment and I would try to keep up. And I realized it was the very first time in my life that I was like, oh, I'm not that fast and I'm not that funny. And since that, I mean, I was very clearly aware that I wasn't as fast and as funny. And to this day, if I get around, I can't do a sitcom. I can't do like a show where I'm funny.
Really?
Yeah, because I get really
We ruined.
Yeah, it sounds like
It sounds like we ruined your life.
Yeah.
No.
Can I tell you though that during that whole time too, I was going, oh wow, Seth, I can't think as fast as Seth.
Well,
Seth
you
is
were
really a
thinking
machine
he
gun.
is. Well, can we talk about him? First of all, pound for pound, the most beautiful man on earth.
Sure.
Pound for pound.
He looks like Brad Pitt in Fight Club with
He
his
is
top off.
those eyes.
Yeah.
He's got beautiful eyeballs.
Uh-huh.
He's real. I mean,
His physique and without a paddle. Remember you and I were going to the gym and shit?
we
And he
will
was like
put
going out to
push-ups
eat.
every day.
Yeah, we were doing push-ups nonstop, but we were doing pull-ups on the set of the fucking tree house.
Yeah.
Seth was like eating candy and stuff. He loves candy. And he had a fucking 8-pack and great deltoids. And we were like, what's going on
He's a
here?
real handsome man.
We had tall, skinny, fat
God, I
guy
love
disease. Yeah, he's just the most.
He is the best.
He is, and he's so lightning fast. It's incredible. When I was sober during the movie until the last week, if you recall.
I do recall that last week. It was that thing where there is no end.
The switch gets flipped.
Yeah, there's no end.
No, there
And
really isn't.
There's no end.
I don't know if you remember, I was hanging out with the stunt guy. The dude, he had been in the Lord of the Rings movies. He was like the biggest guy on set. He was huge. And I ended up, like day 3 of being awake, wrestling, just staring at him for 2 days. And finally I was like, we got to wrestle. I got to find out how I would do against you. Because he was just a monster. And that's my mind on crystal meth and ecstasy and everything he and I were taking. I was like, we need to fucking wrestle in my apartment right now and find out who's who.
Gotta tell you.
And that's where it ended for me.
so terrifying.
Yeah. And then we went to the rap party and I had chewed my lips. I don't know if you remember, but my lips were like 5 times the size that they are now. Because I had just been gnawing on them for 72 hours. Being awake.
That wasn't, I mean.
Is that weird to
so
see a
I don't-
switch like that?
Well, first of all, I was never around. Like I would never, if I had seen that I would have stopped you.
Sure.
Because there was that thing like, I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
And you had this thing and I'll never forget it. You were like, if here's the deal. When you're drinking, you'll be done before the end of the bottle. I'm like, yes, dude, I've never drank a bottle of anything in my life. He's like, yeah, I will go. And then I'll go buy another bottle and I'll buy another bottle. And then I'll drive to the airport to buy other things to keep going. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so.
Yeah. When I latch onto a feeling, if I have the power to not let it go, I will not let it go. That's weirdly what addiction is for me. If I reach a zone that I enjoy, a wall of fire will not keep me from maintaining that. I don't want it to end. I refuse to go to bed and have to deal with it not feeling that way tomorrow. Will just go into like collapse. It's very bizarre because I'm not that way sober. I'm very responsible. But yeah, once I get that feeling, I will maintain it. But my thing now is my life back then was 1s or 10s. it was either I was at a 10 for 72 hours or I was at a fucking 1 then for the next 4 days. And my life was just 1s and 10s.
Right.
And I had to learn to live between like 4 and 7. So I don't even let myself, I try to police myself about getting to anything because I will then try to
maintain that.
like, you know, Ethan Suplee, right?
Yeah, sure.
He's the greatest guy ever. He and I are the same. We have the same brain, right? And I ran into him. We were both doing this show. And he goes, I go, weren't you addicted to a while for to Motrin and Diet Coke? And he goes, yeah, here's exactly what happened. I one time had a Motrin and a Diet Coke. And for whatever reason, probably unrelated to the Motrin and Diet Coke, I had a great feeling. And for the next 7 months, I was like, I must get that feeling again. And I'm just keep eating Motrin and Diet. This is in sobriety. And I'm like, I so relate. I had a Halls one time and I happened to feel great. So I ate 1 million Halls.
No, you did not.
Oh, yeah. I was fully addicted to Halls for like 6 months. My wife was just scratching her head going, I don't understand. And I'm like, I don't fully either, but this is what it is.
Now, do you have, I don't know. It's I get so worried in talking about it. I get so worried.
Well, Saturday it'll be 14 years since I drank. So I think we're relatively good.
No, you can never say that again. That's the fucking rule number 1.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Yeah, I'm going to say it a little bit.
All right.
Before you go, I just want to know, you're wearing a Michigan hat.
Yeah.
Was that for me?
So my cousin, I mean, I'll give it to you if you want it because I do love you. My cousin, Heather, she took the Special Olympics kids from Michigan to the Special Olympics in Seattle, and they got third.
Oh, that's
third place in
awesome.
basketball.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then I was like, that's the greatest hat ever. She's like, I'm sending you a hat.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So super proud of her.
So before you go, Good Girls, when does it come back on the air?
We come back in the, how much do you love Mae Whitman?
I've never.
She's the best.
Yeah.
We come back
I've
on
never,
in the spring.
I was saying earlier today, I was talking to someone who just met her and I'm like, oh, those 6 years on Parenthood, I can talk to her wall to wall for 14 hours straight. I just love talking to her. She's so fun to talk to, isn't she?
She's awesome. She's
magic.
She's magic. I don't have her like that because I never see her because we're sort of, I'm sure it was the same on Parenthood. Like you were separated. So you're never really seeing them that much.
But it's so great when you get to work and you're like, oh, I have 3 scenes with Mae today.
Yeah.
That we're going to have a blast all day.
Awesome. Do you miss Parenthood?
So much. Yeah. Not necessarily like I wish I was still on it, but what a beautiful 6 years. Loved everybody. Easy schedule, close to home. Just awesome. I love you, Matt Lillard.
I love you, buddy.
You're such a sweetheart. I'm so glad you came down and talked to me today.
I'm glad you asked. I was feeling left out.
Oh, were you?
A little bit. I was like,
I'm sorry.
But no, I'm happy to be here.
It's so funny. Just 1 second on that. Now that I'm on this side of it, all these thoughts I had about shows and stuff, I now realize it's just like you've directed things.
Sure, yeah.
Once you get on that side of it, right? Doesn't so many of these things that you thought were happening, you recognize that's not at all what was happening. No one was talking about my relevance compared to anyone else.
But I was like, oh, look, he's doing a show. Oh, there's Seth. Oh, I'm ready. I'm available.
No,
but then I don't want to call and say, hey, I'm around.
I would love that, by the way. At no point am I sitting back going like, he's not big enough to be on the show. Like that's just not happening. Of all the things,
well, when you're on the other side going, well, I guess I'm not big enough. That's fine.
No way.
Totally fine.
No, I was 100% going to talk to you, and because I talk incessantly about Without a Paddle on this podcast because it's still my most formative, craziest, best experience working, and so it comes up nonstop. So there's no way we're not all talking.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for letting me blither.
Oh no, I loved it, and you'll come back. How about that? I'm telling you now, you're invited back anytime you want.
I'm coming back whenever you'll have me.
All right.
Thank you, Mommy.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman. Hello, it's been a while. Hey, how about you? That's a song you and I listened to on the ride over to the attic.
I recognize it.
It won't leave my head. Hello, it's been a while since we checked those facts.
Well, we're not doing the fact check yet.
Why?
This is the intro.
Not now.
Okay. Okay, we are doing
I
this
love
right.
getting you off kilter. We just caught Monica Padman with her
No, we
pants
caught
down.
you with your pants
Oh,
down.
did we?
Yeah. 'cause
You can't throw a curveball at me that I won't at least connect with.
What?
I don't know if I'm going to knock it out of the park, but I'm going to make contact with that curvy. I'm using a sports metaphor. Do you like it? It's a baseball sports metaphor.
I don't get it.
You know, pitchers have a curveball,
Sure.
and I like to call it a curvy.
Sure.
And I'm going to name drop for a second. No, it's never mind. I'm not going to. So gross. I'm going to. When I was doing Idiocracy, Luke Wilson and I had this non-going bit where anytime we wanted to improv and we were going to warn the person, we would go, hey, do you like hitting curvies? And if the person said they liked hitting curvies, then you were open to improv.
Oh my God.
Now I don't regret telling the story. I guess I could have told the same story with the same impact, just left out Luke Wilson's name.
I was just about to say that.
That's
if you
how I'll
feel
improve.
self-conscious about name dropping, you don't have to do that. You can still tell your story without it.
Yeah. Let's break down name dropping though, because it's a nuanced topic, just like anything else. Like I think, and I have done this in the past, I am connecting myself with someone of higher status so that hopefully my status will improve. But if someone's your legitimate coworker for 4 months, are you name dropping or is that just the person in your story?
Well,
Like I'm not trying to increase my status by saying Luke Wilson in that scenario. But it definitely fits the definition of name dropping.
right. I guess if we're talking about, if I'm telling you a story and you don't know personally the other person I'm talking about, then I probably don't say the person, right? But if I'm
No, I disagree. Like when you tell stories about your childhood in Atlanta, I'm hearing all these names.
yeah, sometimes I say my friend Gina, but I do that because you do that. But in life, I don't do that.
Well, what do you even say? Do you just say my friend in Georgia and I did blank?
I just say, yeah, my friend and I were at the park and we.
It's more, to me, the story's better when there's a specificity and I go, oh, Gina. Now I'm following Gina. And then maybe Margaret's going to enter the story. And it would be hard to juggle two different people in the story. Like, so my friend and I went to the park and then my other friend showed up. And then so my friend said, are you going to go on the monkey bars? And I'd be like, wait, the friend that showed up or the friend you arrived with?
Okay, I understand the confusion.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I just think depending on the type of story.
But you found it distasteful when I said Luke Wilson.
No, I didn't. But I know that I know that you have this thing with name dropping. And I do think it's nice to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can, not from you, but in life it can come off. But you know what?
Tell me.
I
What if you just go, you know what? I hate you.
I don't like you. I just don't like you.
Like that was the final straw. You just go,
You know what? I'm done here.
I hate you.
No. I think because it's maybe only name dropping if this doesn't
Your status
feel
seeking?
fair. Yeah, but that also doesn't feel fair. Because if I'm telling somebody a story about you, I should be able to say your name.
Well, certainly you should, because quite often if you were telling a story about me, it almost wouldn't make sense unless it was me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like, oh, my friend gets bare naked and touches the wall with toilet paper or something bizarre about me, it almost...
No, but if I'm just like,
Dax and I went...
yeah,
and
we
grabbed
went to the stamp.
We went to the stamp to
I'm
get
ill.
the lunch.
No.
Yeah, Monica just came down with a phantom illness in the last 90 seconds.
No.
On the ride over, maybe it was just your excitement about me having installed my new car stereo so eloquently. That's elegantly.
Elegantly.
Was that it? Were you
Exquisite.
on a little bit of a high?
No, I was just trying to tell you that you did such a nice job.
Thank you. I spent the last 3 days frustrated installing a stereo that doesn't fit in my Buick Roadmaster. And it's a combination of stubbornness and I won't quit. So
Yeah, tenacity.
I got it out of the box. I held it up to the hole in the dash and I go, not the right size. It's not wide enough. None of the hardware is going to bolt in correctly. There's going to be big gaps on the side. I need to return this and get one that fits. And then I started trying to pack it back in the box, and I said, I can't do that. It will never go back in this box the way it came out of this box. So then I'm going to deal with some big problem returning it. And I'm just going to live with this mistake and make it work. And then cut to 3 days of fabricating weird things. It couldn't be more sloppily assembled, but it looks good on the outside.
It looks great, and it works. It functions.
It does. I now have Bluetooth calling in my 28-year-old car now.
Yeah, it's great.
So exciting. And I was playing some XM radio over it. It just was doing it over my phone. I think I can make my maps come up now on the screen.
Mm-hmm. I was still ill then.
You were?
Yeah.
But you were on a little bit of a high.
Sure. Sure.
When did you come down with this illness?
I have been feeling...
You've been feeling ill for the better part of what?
Couple days.
2 days.
Maybe 3.
Oh, wow.
Just a little.
Okay. And we all had that
It's catching up with me.
gastrointestinal issue in Texas.
Yeah.
So it's been a real rough couple weeks for you.
I know. And I was sick before that, too. I feel like I haven't been healthy in 6 weeks.
Do we need to get your T cell count
I'm a little nervous.
monitored or something?
I'm having also
do you have iron?
potentially a sinus infection.
Oh, my goodness. This is starting to feel like name dropping. Like this is sympathy seeking. Couldn't you
No,
couldn't
no.
Well, hold on.
I hate that.
I'm not going to accuse you of it, but let's just have a broader conversation where you're not the guilty party. But wouldn't you agree that sympathy seeking is as repugnant as name dropping?
Yes.
I think we all have an aversion to any kind of like attention getting, even though we all do it. We're all
Sure.
trying to get a little taste of that attention.
Sure.
And then there's just certain methods we disagree with. Like, go get first place in a foot race, and then people give you attention. No one minds that. 'Cause you're like, oh, you earned that. You went out there and you practiced, and then you finished first. Let's give this person some approval and attention. But then when they get all that approval and attention, I think this is why people bump up against, like, reality stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't deserve that. As if anyone deserves a ton of attention.
Well, I think some activities are more worthy of attention than others.
Sure, but curing cancer is probably the most
Yes, they should get all the
celebratory worthy
Of course.
accomplishment. But that is certainly not our ranking and how much attention we give people.
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
There are cardiologists that have saved thousands of lives, and I'm probably getting more attention than that person. That's an injustice.
I agree.
Yeah. I feel like you're doing a long-term inception on me.
Why? What?
Well, just because you're so smart and cunning and Machiavellian, and like just even you being sick today is I'm probably walking into a trap. You probably feel 100%.
Why? What are you saying?
You're like Ex Machina. I think you're going to kill me at some point.
Oh, maybe.
Don't you think that's possible?
No, I think you're going to kill me because one time you...
Almost killed you.
No. Yeah. One time you almost killed me.
I thought you were an intruder.
Yes. I was in the closet in your house and you were in a different room and
I could hear rustling through the walls.
yes, I was putting some stuff away in Kristen's closet.
And we were putting the girls down.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you just charge in with your fists up
Uh-huh. I was ready to go.
and an anger in your eyes.
Did it remind you of any of that footage you've seen from the Congo of the male silverbacks protecting their
No,
territory?
it didn't.
That's what I want to look like.
I
when
know
I'm
that's
in
not
it.
what you looked like.
What did I look like?
You looked
Homicidal?
scary. Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't like it
I'm sorry.
and I was scared.
I didn't mean to scare you, but I got the intended outcome because I certainly would want to scare the intruder. So it's good to know that
If the intruder's a tiny girl who can't defend herself, then yeah, it worked.
Yeah, but I bet maybe the cues I was sending, the posturing cues, the biological posturing cues were probably work across the board, I would think.
No.
No.
It's because
Oh, jeez.
I can't do anything in that scenario.
You could shit your pants. We've friends of mine and I in our youth would talk about this. Like, would that be a good strategy to defend yourself? Like if you're on the playground and you get surrounded by like 30 kids and you know you're going to be the recipient of a beating.
Yeah.
If you just at that moment poop your pants
They're not going to
and there's a smell,
and they
everyone's just
don't
going
want to touch you.
They no longer want to touch you. They want to get away from you. That could be a survival strategy.
That's true.
Even if a guy, like you saw a guy approaching with a gun, and you just quickly pooped your pants, and he got there and he said, like, give me all your money. And you said, I'd love to. What's your name? And he could tell this was going to take a while. He was going to get what he wanted, but it was going to take a while. And you had poop in your pants. He might go, you know what, man? I'm going to steal someone else's wallet.
Or you could say, I'm happy to. My wallet's in my butt
crack.
and I've also shit. So if you want this wallet, it's going to come with some shit.
Yeah.
But you can have it.
I think I've heard stories, and I can't recollect them perfectly now, but I feel like people have deployed that as a strategy of getting out of DUIs. Like the cops on their way up to the window, they quickly poop their pants. And then when they roll down the window, first of all, you can't smell alcohol anymore because all you can smell is duty.
Sure.
And then also the cops now in such a precarious situation because no one wants to be even communicating with someone who's got a hot evacuation in their slacks. You want to just be done with the whole thing, right? Like, you know,
They're human. Cops are human.
like
too.
the cop probably starts with like, sir, do you know I just, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm getting another call. And then don't you think? It seems plausible.
It could, yeah. In certain circumstances, sure. Depending on how strong that cop's sense of smell is.
That's a factor, a variable.
If they don't have a good sense of smell, they won't care.
They won't care. Yeah,
No.
my father been a cop. He's zero sense of smell.
Oh, I have a very good sense of smell.
Brag number one. I want to get a buzzer in here, like
First of all, you've called me a bragger today,
Yep.
and attention seeking
Mhm.
for an illness.
Yeah.
And
I've appointed myself the person in your life that's going to keep you humble.
oh my God, no,
I'm
thanks.
teasing. You don't need any help staying humble.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Well, let's talk about some facts.
Okay,
Or you still
was-
want me to do the intro?
there was a few. Okay. Okay, facts. Ugh. Oh, okay. Here's a fact.
Okay.
Women do notice your body in chips. Okay. And
What data did you gather to?
don't
this
question
statement
my
here? Okay.
abilities.
Okay.
They do, but think about it's much easier to tell someone the same sex something positive about their appearance than it is a stranger of the opposite sex.
It is.
What are you? Well, of course. There's no threat of anything good or bad happening.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm more inclined to tell a guy I thought he got in great shape for a movie, but I also tell women all the time, like, I used to text Erica all the time. Chris and I would watch the Parenthood program on Tuesday nights or whatever night it was on. And always like mid-episode, there'd always be a scene with Erica where she just looked so beautiful. It was overwhelming. Like her eyes were so beautiful. And I would immediately text her, oh, Buzz, you're just the most beautiful creature. So I feel like I'm spreading out those observations to male and female.
Okay, but you are
But maybe I'm
not
more brazen.
normal.
Maybe I'm more
Yeah,
brazen.
You're not normal. You're abnormal.
I also have the cover fire of being known to be married. Probably that's a bit of cover fire. So I'll compliment also, I think you've been around when I do it too. If we have a server at a restaurant and the server has beautiful eyes, boy or girl, I'll always tell them. And, but I'm with Kristen.
Yeah.
So there's like no threat. Like I'm clearly not hitting on you. I'm just letting you know you have beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
That usually goes off without a hitch. Although I did that to a mom at our preschool, and I felt like it was a lead balloon. It was about the first time that ever happened to me.
What did you say?
Well, her daughter's so beautiful, and Riverdale was obsessed with her.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
I saw the mom, and I go, "Oh, no wonder she's obsessed with you. You guys look so much alike. You're so beautiful." But I was in front of Kristen, but I saw the look on her face. She was like, I don't want to be told by you I'm beautiful.
Oh, interesting.
It was interesting. It took me by surprise. But then again, I could also be misreading it. Maybe it was just like, oh, what a unexpected thing to come out of your mouth. I don't really know even how to respond. Maybe it wasn't disgust. It was just like,
It probably wasn't disgust, but it could have been discomfort.
sure, which is, again, I'm trapped in my own perspective. I
Yes.
can't imagine being upset someone told me I was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people are different.
People are different.
And people, it's hard to tell a stranger a compliment about their physical self.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's fine. That's why that's happening.
I would even, but let me just counterpoint this for 1 second, and then we'll move on. I would almost see, like when I'm around out in America, and I'm on a plane flying to Tennessee, and the dude who tells me I got in great shape, I would assume for that guy, he is nervous that I'm going to think he's gay and hitting on me. There's a more present homophobia that we can all acknowledge between men. I find it even more shocking that a man would be willing to potentially come across as desiring my body.
Yeah, but it depends on the way they're saying it.
Yeah.
Which normally
Well,
they're
if they start
not
with a strong
saying it.
bro,
Yeah.
they're signaling me a little bit. Bro.
Ugh.
Oh, boy. Okay. Just tip your illness
I didn't-
over the...
Yeah, I didn't.
I'll be more careful the rest of this. I don't want to see you throw up or anything.
No, I think there's a difference in the way people compliment each other,
Mm-hmm.
and if it feels sexual or romantic or
Sure.
what's the word
Charged.
I'm looking for?
Charged. Sexually charged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you said that when you what?
You have this pattern in the fact check that I love, which is like you read one of your facts and you go, oh. And I love it's almost like I get to witness the first time you learn this and it's happening again. Oh.
That's just a tick. I'm gonna stop doing it.
No, don't ever stop.
You said when you went to Lillard's house that you were amazed and you were like, this is like Thurston Hill.
Thurston Howell
Oh.
from Gilligan's Island.
Oh.
Lovely.
I looked up Thurston Hill.
Oh, who's Thurston Hill?
An actor
Oh, wow.
in the world.
Okay.
But I could not decipher what you had seen of this person
Yeah.
and what you could be referring to, but Thurston Howell.
Yeah, I think it was Thurston Howell III.
Oh.
And his wife's name was Lovey. And he was so Lovey. Let's go over to the beach, Lovey. He spoke like that. He kind of speaks like the character on Yacht Rock Radio now. I think he's doing a Thurston Howell impersonation.
I see.
Yeah.
And he was rich.
Oh, he's very rich. Yeah.
Mm.
Lovey.
The Pink Flamingo movie.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to find the scene with the
Anus.
big old hole in his butt.
Yeah.
Her butt. His butt?
His. It was a guy.
Okay. And I couldn't find it.
I'm happy for you. You didn't find that.
I found some other terrible things in my search.
I bet you did.
Yeah. Oof.
Divine like steals steaks in that movie by putting them in between her thighs or his thigh.
I know the problem.
What's interesting is back then they called him Divine, but we wouldn't call him Divine now. We would call her Divine. He was a transvestite back then. He dressed.
He was a cross
like
dresser? Or was
Well, the
he
old distinction, I don't know if it's still the distinction, but a transvestite was someone who dressed with a different gender, and then a transsexual was someone who had some kind of procedures.
yes, surgery.
And I don't think that Divine had any surgeries, to my knowledge. So back then, I think they referred to Divine as him.
Was Divine ever? Did you ever see him?
In his male persona?
Right.
Never.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
But he or
Or she. Well,
eats a turd off the street. I saw that part.
Oh, dog poop.
Yes, a dog pooped and
Yeah, that's right.
and it was eaten, and it was really, you could tell it was real.
Yep. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's probably what sparked my illness.
Oh, maybe.
I looked at all this morning.
But what's crazy is that John Waters had that movie in him, and then also had Crybaby in him and Serial Mom. Like, he's a good director.
Just a wide
He's just
range.
so interesting. And then his hometown is Baltimore. He's like the resident artist in Baltimore. He's celebrated.
Oh, really?
He just has a cool story. Now, whether you like Pink Flamingo or not, most people, I'm sure, would find it distasteful and objectionable. But he has a great story. Talk about a guy who picked his lane, not a popular lane, openly gay, every trigger you could have, and just stayed the course, and then became kind of a celebrated hero.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's neat.
And another thing that happens in that movie is Cookie and Crackers, two characters, have sex while crushing a live chicken between them.
Yeah.
This movie,
It's not. Yeah,
is not.
It
for
wouldn't
me.
hold up to today's rigors of the SPCC or
ASPCA.
Yeah, it would not pass.
No.
PETA would be all over that film.
I wish I could have seen the anus portion just to see how big, just to see if a grapefruit really would have fit in there.
And I do wonder if it holds up for me, because it's been 30 years since I saw that movie.
So, did you like that movie? Because I saw a few clips.
I liked it in the way that as a kid, I also liked the Faces of Death movies, or I liked anything. This is a pattern of my whole life. I liked anything that said, oh, here's the system. Fuck this system. We'll do whatever we want. I was always drawn to that punk rock mentality of don't take any system for granted, and do whatever you want. I was never into hurting people, but
Right.
And what's interesting is I told you I had lunch with Eric Weinstein. And he was learning disabled and his brother was learning disabled, and they're both prominent intellectuals now in our country. And it clicked for me in that meeting where it all comes from, which I could see it best in him, where the system he was in told him he was stupid for 10 years. And then he graduated top of his class in mathematics from Harvard, which is impossible to do.
Yep.
So I think when you have that experience, you become innately or perpetually questioning of all systems.
Sure. Makes
Like
sense.
when the most formative system you were a part of was flawed,
Yeah.
then I think you just have this inherent distrust or
Yeah.
questioning of all systems. And it's frustrating to be around. I think Kristen finds it frustrating.
Well, it also it depends, and it depends on how it's executed. Like in this case with this movie, like it just makes me just like people need back to attention seeking.
Right.
Like
You thought it was unnecessarily provocative.
Yeah, like the things people are doing to get attention and noticed and to me seem
Sure.
outside the box and outside the system, and poking around just cut. It feels so arbitrary to me.
So we're going to have a role reversal right now, because I'm going to take what would normally be your point of view.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you that here's John Waters. He's found this community of people, of weirdos and rejects and disenfranchised and people that are not mainstream. Everyone in that movie's got something weird about them by that day's definition of weird.
Sure.
So he has this pocket in this community of the Broken Toys Island. And he says, you know what? We deserve a movie too. We're not like you, but we deserve a movie too. And so I'm going to make that movie. And when you think about it that way, it's kind of empowering and sweet.
Yep. But I also like, what is we? We those 5 people, or we the gay community? Like, what does we mean? Because I do not think it's a mass group that
relates to that movie.
Well, I would argue that the facts speak for themselves. It's 40 years later, and you and I are talking about
It's a cult classic.
It is. So there was an audience for it. A lot of people saw that, and whether they stole meat between their thighs or dressed up like a woman, they at least identified with feeling like you don't at all fit into this world. And so it didn't have to be the exact example of how they felt that way, but there was some recognition of, oh yeah, I feel like a complete freak in this society as well. Like I'm not fitting into it.
Yeah.
So in whatever way, the people that watched it and watched it over and over again took some kind of pleasure out of it, or they wouldn't do it over and over again. But normally you would be on this side of the argument and I'd be on your side.
Well, sometimes I think people just get pleasure and get entertainment out of absurdity and ridiculousness, like The Room. That's a huge cult classic, and not because people are relating to Tommy. It's because it's
I agree, but that one didn't have an intention. It had an intention, but it wasn't what was achieved. I think John Waters had an intention that he achieved. Like he wanted to make mainstream feel as uncomfortable as he feels about the mainstream, or that he has been relegated to feel moving through life. And he wanted other people to feel that.
Yeah.
So, and he achieved that goal. I think Tommy Wiseau was trying to make Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
And I don't think he hit that mark.
Right. I don't either. But anyway.
Or Basic Instinct. Such a sexual movie.
Cillian Murphy is Killian with the hard K. Okay?
But spelled with a C though, right? Yeah.
Yes.
With the hard
spelled
K
with the
sound.
C with the hard K sound. Blockbuster Video. We might have some young listeners who don't even know what Blockbuster Video is.
Well, then let's start them with the song. Wow, what a difference. Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
I don't know.
Blockbuster Video. You don't recognize that song?
I heard that.
That was their theme song. Wow, what a
Their
difference.
theme
Blockbuster Video.
They had a theme song?
What an interesting choice, because wow, like they define themselves as wow, what a difference. They were so different from all the other video stores, which how different can you be?
They were. They had a lot of titles.
They had an impressive inventory and they had quite a snack bar.
Yeah. It was a video store to rent videos, VHS tapes.
Yeah.
I don't even think they
did DVDs.
They moved into DVDs.
They did. They even had laser discs in the interim between DVD and VHS.
And it doesn't exist anymore, but I spent a lot of, there was a
one exists, right? In Alaska, it's always on John Oliver. There's one Blockbuster left in Alaska, and it's now being celebrated.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so there's one Blockbuster Video left.
Yeah.
But it was a cool
People
place.
should make a pilgrimage.
I used to rent so many movies at once.
As fun as the movie you would bring home was perusing the aisles.
It was an experience in itself.
It was.
Yeah.
Because you'd rent a movie you had no idea about. You never heard it. You're basing it solely on the
cover.
The cover.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I know.
It's so great. There'd be like a hot person, and then maybe for me, there'd be like a car in the background. I'm like, well, how bad could this be? Got a hot girl and a muscle car.
Yeah.
Part of this movie is going to work. And my brother and I were obsessed with these gang movies when we were kids, like the Bronx Warriors and the movie The Warriors, The Wanderers. And there was one where this guy, it was in the Bronx. They're all post-apocalyptic, and a guy drags another guy with a motorcycle with a chain. We loved those movies. So we would just scour the video store looking for like any guy holding a baseball bat or a tire iron or a chain. And we were like, this movie's going to be great.
Wow. Yeah, it was fun. Okay. 2 hours a day on social media does equal out to a month of life, even more.
Even more.
Yeah. The numbers are actually higher than a month.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, depending on
your
how many
waking
days
hour?
in the month.
Okay.
But so
That's great news.
disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's great news.
So Shawshank, you said, did terribly.
Mm-hmm.
Financial disaster. Shawshank's total domestic gross was $28 million.
Mm-hmm.
And the weekend gross, September 23rd, 1994, was $727,000.
That's a bad opening.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You don't want to open under $1 million. You really don't want to open under 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in the hundreds of thousands,
It's not
everyone's
great.
shitting a brick. Huge director and big stars at the time, and Stephen King property. So I think there were some expectations probably too.
Yeah.
The opening shot of Shawshank is so awesome.
The
if you
movie is
remember.
fantastic.
Oh, it's a flawless
It's-
movie.
Yeah.
And it
So
has
good.
become it's come to be seen as a huge hit. That's why it's a
Yeah.
trick in your mind. Same with Swingers. Like Swingers, everyone has seen Swingers. Everyone knows Swingers. And it didn't make much when it first came out. It just had a great life.
Yeah.
Idiocracy, I think it made $600,000 or something. I don't
Yeah.
even know that it broke $1 million.
Yeah.
And quite a lot of people saw it.
Yeah.
Movies are neat that way. I hope that's still the trajectory of movies. As things evolve, I hope that things can find a secondary
Audience.
life.
Yeah. Okay. There were 4 screams.
Okay.
We were hazy on that.
Hmm.
I have such a vivid memory of seeing, I believe, Scream 3 in the movie theater.
Okay.
And just everyone, it's like the best movie experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, those movies.
Because
are
you're
so
laughing
fun.
and screaming.
And everyone's scream, like the whole theater, it's so alive in there.
Yeah.
So fun.
Mm.
Oh, just real quick. When you were talking about the things you weren't supposed to do with Bart the Bear,
Yeah.
you said A, you couldn't look him in the eyes. B, you can't act afraid around him. And B, don't run. You said B twice.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
cool.
strange. So I'm just fixing that.
What if people, they left that and they really couldn't figure out what happened? And they were like, he said there were 3 things, but he only got to B, so he must have only said 2 things. And the second and third thing must have been 1 thing.
Yeah. It's confusing. It's hard for
What if
people.
someone had to pull their car over on the side of the road and just think about what happened? Like, what happened?
What
He
exactly-
said 3 things. We only got to B. I know B is the second letter in the alphabet.
doing some math.
And then
in
they
their
pull
head.
out a piece of paper and they actually write
Equation.
A, B, and then they count that 1,
1,
2. No, that's 2.
Does not equal 3.
And then they've got 3 written and circled.
And equal with the slash through it.
And then they write down the 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful mind.
I
They're
guess
really
if someone, is doing that, they probably could have never even gotten themselves in a car to begin with or pushed play on something.
Sadly, I don't think that's true.
Oh, really?
I think there are people on the street
Who get
who,
stuck on something.
yeah, who shouldn't be on the street. That's really it. I just thought that was a very fun and surprising interview.
Yeah. Now, you had never met him in real life.
No.
And would you agree with my assessment of him that when you meet him in real life, he just has a big presence, like a big,
Definitely.
attractive presence?
Yeah, he was, yes, very much so. Very kind and warm
Yes.
and easy. Very easy to
inclusive.
talk to. Very inclusive. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great.
He's a real special guy.
I liked him a lot.
I have to imagine the foundation is rooted in TAM.
I bet
Like when you were
so.
TAM and then you become famous and successful, like I just think that's the right place to start.
It's a good story
If
to
you're
be
the-
TAM and then be a
Yeah.
successful person.
If you're the quarterback in high school and then you also become a movie star, it's going to be hard for you to be a gracious person, probably.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. And then you put me in a little bit of a
I did.
pickly
I
situation.
did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah, you really did.
I did. It was uncomfortable a little bit.
But you know why I did? I misread you. I thought for you that would be the easiest thing to answer. Just knowing who you are and you sitting next to him, I thought, oh, I know what Monica's answer is going to be, which is why I felt safe to ask it.
I know, but it's still okay. Circling back to our original opening of this fact check.
Yeah.
Even if it's true, which I think you're ultimately right. That is true. I would probably pick
Lillard.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really want to say that because I don't know George Clooney,
The Clooney
and I'd
doctor?
love to meet him. Okay.
Okay.
But
Well, I just know you, and I've met both people, so I feel pretty high 90s confident that you would pick Lillard.
yeah, but still, that's uncomfortable for me to say to him.
It is? I think it'd be uncomfortable for you to say Clooney to him.
Yeah, all of it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable if I don't pick him, and it's uncomfortable if I do pick him.
Really? I would think you'd be excited to tell him, who just said no one would ever cheat on Clooney for him. And then you have an opportunity to go, that's not true. I would. That you could make that person feel so good, you'd be afraid to do that?
No, because this is exactly what we were talking about earlier. You feel totally fine to do that because I don't know why. For some reason, you feel a safety in doing that, but most people do not feel a safety. Like that could definitely come off like
As what?
I'm attracted to him, which is also what you were actually saying there. And he's a human, a married person sitting there. I'm a single young girl saying, I would definitely pick you.
And
over.
you think there's a single person on the planet that wouldn't enjoy hearing that?
Yeah, his wife probably would not enjoy
Heather
that.
is chill as a motherfucker. She'd be fine with it.
In life, that could be uncomfortable.
Well, hitting on him is uncomfortable. If you were saying, I would pick you, and what are you doing for lunch? Now, what are you doing for lunch is an issue.
Yes, but there's a fine line in the way people perceive things and hear things. And I'm not saying like, sure, I think he would probably
I think
be
he'd really
happy.
like that.
Yeah, I think he would probably like to hear that, but it's still, it feels like it's crossing a line.
It's out of your comfort
and it's
zone.
unprofessional, which is fine. It doesn't need to be professional. This isn't professional, obviously.
No, this is a safe haven for unprofessionals.
It is,
We have to spend our whole lives being professional, and this is
but we don't.
not you and I, no.
Other people do, yeah. But it could cross over into people feeling weird. And I don't want to put anyone in that position.
It could. I don't deny it could, but knowing him and knowing Heather, it wouldn't have. It would have just made him feel good.
Well, I told him he has a tremendous personality.
Yeah. Anyways, he was lovely. I'm really glad he came in. And
Yeah, me too.
he's so sweet.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Like you, Monica Padman.
Thanks, Dad
I love you.
Shepherd. I love you.
Hope you feel better.
Stop bringing up my illness. Now you're making, it's another, you love to trap me. That's why you're going to murder me. Also, that's what I was going to say that we never circle back to. One time you wrote in your journal, I hope Monica dies.
In your dream. Not in real life. Let's be ultra clear on that. You had a dream. You read my journal and it said, I hope Monica dies, which is such a crazy dream to have.
Was it a dream?
I mean, if you said you
Was
were,
it
if you said you had a dream where you were in a three-way with a blue whale and a squirrel, that to me would be more plausible than you read in my journal, I hope you die.
Well,
You must have done something really bad to me that I don't know about,
maybe.
that you think I would want you to die. Did you break into the attic?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I do sleep here sometimes, but I didn't break in.
All right. I love you for real.
Okay, bye.
Bye.